Welcome in, everybody. I'm Erin. I'm your host tonight for today's tutorial. Hello, welcome in. In case anybody is brand new here, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. If you have a free Twitch account, which if you don't, you can make by going in the top right of this window and quickly creating a quick little account. You'll be able to ask questions in the chat just by typing and sending, so feel free to ask any questions as you go about painting. But essentially what I'll be doing is I'll be teaching you step by step how to recreate the painting immediately to my right. As Lori was saying in chat, it is not named right now. I keep the painting nameless because I like to name it later on based on suggestions that I see in the chat. So if you like this design and have an idea for a lovely name, feel free to put it in the chat right now because I'll be reviewing all the names before I post to YouTube. For those wondering, I always post my tutorials directly to YouTube sometime after the tutorial airs here on Twitch. Usually within a week or two. I know I'm a tiny bit backlogged again, but I will get back to catching up. But yeah, you can find these videos all over YouTube on youtube.com/erinbunpaints. I have lots of tutorials up there, and this one will be posted again sometime after I'm done. Yeah, I guess how this works is I'm gonna paint along with you. So in case you're wondering why there's just like a still painting here, I'm actually gonna switch to this screen. You can still see the painting above me. You can see me just nice and small down here, but the main event is you can see my canvas here. So I'm actually going to recreate all the colors with you, kind of show you how to put them on the canvas, give you some technique suggestions, and then we can all paint it together. There's lots of people here tonight. Some of us are painting, some of us are just hanging out. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. We all get to hang out on a Friday night together, painting, getting creative. Maybe it's just inspiring you to get creative in a different way. That's great to me. I hope everyone just has a good time kind of relaxing, having a fun time, whether you're doing art or not, or painting or not. It's all good with me. In terms of the supplies, you can always double check the supplies by going into the chat and typing !supplies. It'll kind of spit out all of the supplies that I always use for every single tutorial. So just to review, we have 3 paintbrushes. We have a large flat brush, we have a medium round brush, and we have a small round brush. I always use a maximum of 5 different paint colors. Today we actually only use 4. We don't use any black, so we're going to be using red, yellow, phthalo, blue, and white. So you don't need black on your plate if you don't want it. Of course, you're welcome to change up the painting and add different colors if you want, but I will be only using 4 and teaching you how to mix all of the in-between colors today. So that's all you need. Otherwise, I recommend having a paint palette nearby. I use my iconic soon-to-be volcano plate. It is now just a plate, but it will be a volcano soon. I'd recommend a cup of water. I'd recommend wearing something you don't mind getting paint on. In this case, I have an apron. Thank you again, Terry, for the apron as always. And those are really all the supplies you need. I guess a canvas or something to paint on. I use a 16 by 20, but you can really use anything you like, any size you like, any surface you like. You can paint on a rock if you want. You can paint on a wall if you want. It doesn't matter. So feel free to get anything and everything and give this a try. I think that's all the instructions. I'm just going to catch up on chat and then we can do a quick little cheers and then we will get started. So everybody, first step to the painting is we're going to create the nice kind of like soft purpley blue on the top. So everyone, you can grab your large flat brushes and we're going to mix together actually 3 colors. We're going to mix mainly white and blue, white and phthalo blue. So start with those. And then we're mixing a tiny bit of red in there. Tiny bit of red. So blue, white, tiny bit of red. That's going to give us kind of like, again, like a soft bluish purple. It's not quite just like a blue, not quite, you know, really bright purple. Where's my phthalo? There it is. It's kind of just a softer purpley blue. Calamity, if you're still here, I'd love to hear more about your White Glove Friday. That sounds so fun and chaotic. All right, I'll show you my palette in a second so you can see what I'm mixing. If my red wasn't clogged up. This will be the color we're putting right at the top of the canvas. So large flat brush. I'm gonna do like, I would say half blue, half white, maybe a little extra blue. And again, phthalo blue. Phthalo is my favorite. It's gonna make it nice and bright and beautiful. And then a tiny bit of red. So the tiny bit of red is actually gonna tone it down a little bit. Again, it puts it a little more on kind of the bluish purple spectrum, rather than just a plain blue. See how it kind of tones it down a bit? It makes it almost a little more, not really gray. It's just a little less bright. Excellent, Phoenix. I'm glad. maybe a little lighter. And again, you should change this up as much as you want, everybody. If you're creating kind of a different blue than me or a different purple than me, you should do whatever you like. Don't feel pressure to get it exactly the way I am. Just do what you feel. So I'm going to put this right along the top. I would say this is even less than a quarter. So if you're about a quarter of the way, go maybe a little bit higher, because we have a lot of different colors we want to blend into the sky. And I'm just going left and right, back and forth. Even this is a little bright. I can tone it down a bit more with some white here. Back and forth, left and right across that top of the canvas. You can wrap it around if you have a canvas like me. Make sure you're hitting all those edges. And acrylic paint is great because it dries pretty quickly. That's why I like it. Some people hate it for that reason, but that's why I like it. But it stays wet for about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you want to change it up at all, if maybe you put the blue on and you're not really a fan of it, you want to just alter it in any way, you can just grab maybe a little bit of white if you want to lighten it, or maybe a little more blue if you want to darken it. Just go on top of it. You can kind of like blend a little more color in and just change it up minimally as you go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting a little more white or a little more red in there just to kind of change the tone a little bit to something I like. So feel free to mess around right on top of the canvas if you need to. All right. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any comments. So Kay Schreiner said, I thought we were doing bullets today. Yeah, so I know. Usually I do bullet journaling at the last Friday of every month. I wasn't able to stream earlier today. So what I decided, and I should have announced this honestly earlier, but I kind of just mentioned it on stream. But yeah, I'll be doing that next Friday as a result. So if you're interested in that, Kay Schreiner, I will be doing that next Friday. I know it's technically into March at that point. But yeah, I'm going to do the same thing as I usually do. I'll set up my whole March monthly spread with everybody. I'll do a little title page. I'll do the calendar. I'll do a weekly spread. So you'll see that in next week's schedule. Again, I apologize. It honestly snuck up on me, and also I just couldn't stream earlier today. So that's what happened. Yep. So that'll be next Friday if you're interested. Hearing about some Worcestershire sauce. What's that about, Freaky? Daphne Pink, hello. Yeah, White Claw. If Calamity Cat raided and ran, which I totally understand if she did. I'm going to check out her VOD later. I want to know what she means by a nice, fun White Claw stream. I want to know what that's all about. It sounds so fun! My bun, it's gone. Please hold. Please, no worries, Allie. You're fine. Self-esteem machine. Hello. I assume you came with the raid. Sweet blue sky. Thank you. Have you ever painted before? Is your schedule the same? It'll be a little bit different. Allie, thank you for resubbing. Oh man, I missed a lot of follows here. Shooting Bunny, thank you for the follow. Neon Shield Maiden, hello. Thank you for the follow. Daphne Pink, thank you for following as well. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Allie, thank you so much for resubscribing. Please hold, she says. Giving you some hype. Yay! 7 month streak. Oh, excuse me. 7 months, 1 month streak. All good. 7 months is big time. The numbers just keep getting bigger. But yeah, Vonda, the schedule will be like a little bit different. I'm kind of changing things up a little bit. I'm rethinking again how long I'm online for. So I'm just trying to make sure it's doable and not exhausting me, because I'm getting to another exhausted time in my life where I'm feeling a little tired. So I just want to make sure I'm doing a schedule which is able to be maintained, and I can be like full energy each stream and not like half here ending early. So yeah, that's my strategy. I'll be kind of thinking about that a lot more next week. All good. No worries. Thanks, Kay Schreiner. I'm glad you're understanding. All right, so we've got our blue sky on. Let's blend a little bit more down into a new color. So I'm going to move into some purples. We kind of have a little bit of purple right around here. So I'm just going to mix a little more red into that existing color. If you want to use the same pile, I'm just using the same brush. I didn't even wash it off. Just grabbing a little bit of red, mixing it on top. And I'm going to grab a little more white just to lighten it up a little bit, because I want to get it lighter as it comes down the canvas. So red and white. So the red's going to make it a little more purpley, and the white is going to lighten it. So I'm just dipping a little bit at a time, mixing in, again, until I have a color I like. I am trying to match, of course, my original reference that I made, but in the end, I'm just trying to make a color that I enjoy, and you should too. You shouldn't worry about getting it exact. So I call it like a soft purple. It's, again, a little bit more of a blue purple. If you wanted a little more of a bright kind of royally purple, add a little more red at a time until you have a shade you like. I think that's about good there. So I'm going to throw that on. I would say I'm coming just below a third of the way now. So maybe about here. And what I like to do is I like to put the color on first. So I'm just going back and forth, left and right, kind of at the bottom area. Bottom of that new section. And I'm going to bring the color up and then I'll blend it together. I like to do it this way so that I get the nice clean color on first. And then I can move the two colors together and blend them together. If I were to blend first, sometimes it kind of like, you know, messes up your brush a bit because your brush will pick up some of this color and start dragging it down. So that's why you see me doing it this way. But you can really do it either way. Some people like to blend first and then grab more color and continue down. That works as well. This is just my way. There's many ways to paint. This is my way. You can use whatever way you want. Zarsu, thank you for following. So I've added this kind of purpley color. I'm going to now blend it into the color above. So in order to blend, all you have to do is sweep your brush in between the two colors. As long as the two colors are still wet, which mine are, you can see the brush kind of picks up a little bit of both and moves them together and softens them up. That's what blending is. Wet on wet blending anyway. That's the two colors being wet on the canvas and you're just kind of moving in between them. And look at that. There's no line anymore. It just kind of flows together. That's what we want. A nice easy transition all the way down. So goal achieved. We've got the one little blend there and we're going to keep blending down to new colors, but I'll just give everyone a minute to catch up if you're still kind of blending that top area there. I will move a little quick because of course we want this to stay wet for the next color, so we'll move on in about a minute or so. Take care of you. Hugs. Kara says eat catnip for energy. Thank you, Kara. You always come up with the best advice. It's always catnip. It's always catnip apparently, but thank you. Whoa, we hit 2,600 with that. Wow, wow, wow. Again, thank you, Calamity Cat Crew. You just bumped me to 2,600. That's wild. I think so, Zarsu. Yeah, welcome in. Lucky you. Well, honestly, yeah, you're number 2,600. Amazing. Unless someone unfollows right now and then steals your place, but I'm not suggesting anyone does that. You're the official. You're the OG. Zarsu. Excellent. Thank you so much. Isn't that cool? Thanks for hitting that stats grade. We wouldn't have known that unless she did that, so thank you. Yeah, for real. For real. Big Pog. Big Cat Jam. Big hype for Zasu. Yeah, yes! You should change your name, Zarsu 2600. Remember this moment forever. If I had a 2600 badge, I'd give it to you. If there was that ability to make very custom badges. Wow, thank you very much. 10 bits, 2600 hype. I see my battery's already dead. I did use a half-charge battery to begin with. I don't know why I did that, but I have some full ones right here. So please hold. I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna change that real quick and then we're back in business here. Thanks so much for the bits, Barzarsu. The hype is all for you though. The hype's all for you. Thank you though. There we are. We're back. That shouldn't happen for another hour and a half, so it's good to get it out of the way right now. All right, I'm gonna move on to a new color. I'm gonna move on to like a soft pink color. We have pink and then we wanna do peach as our last color. It kind of hides in the background. So I would recommend washing off your brush at this point, just because it's probably filled with a lot of blue and bluish purple. So let's wash off our brush, the large flat. Gonna use some white paint, and I'm just mixing in some red, so I'm gonna make a nice soft pink color. So by soft pink, I mean not really a hot pink, right? If you use more red, it's gonna become a hotter and hotter pink, but I wanna keep it a little softer because it's moving down the canvas, right? So I'm softening up these colors as I go. There is a lovely hair of mine right there. I'm gonna remove that. And yeah, something like this. You can see it's just a nice kind of light, almost like a Barbie pink, if you want to call it that, the classic Barbie pink. And I'm gonna put that to about halfway. We're about halfway down the canvas. You can see this tree line is a little below halfway, so we have a little more room after this color. Same thing, I like to start from the bottom and going left and right. And I'll move this pink up towards the purple and then blend it in so it stays nice and clean to begin with. Depending on how clean your brush is. But yeah, because you're applying it first, it's staying again nice and solid, nice and clean. And then I'll blend as I reach up to the purple here. Little more, come on, you can do it. All right, so I've reached the purple. Now I just brush in between Now I would use a fair amount of pressure. For those wondering how much I'm pressing down, I'm really pressing down, and then that way the bristles are really picking up the paint. You can see a nice difference between that and of course where the edge hasn't hit there. It's nice and soft, so I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And there's another beautiful blend. I love this painting because there's lots of blending. I love blending. I could do it all day. It's one of the first things I learned how to do when I learned how to paint was just blending. I just blended and blended and blended all day. So satisfying to see. And again, when the paint is still wet, you can keep adding on top. So I think the purple kind of moved down a little too much for me. I want to keep it nice and pink, so I'm just going to add a little more pink to my brush and kind of brush it on top, trying to bring that beautiful pink back. Sharon, don't worry, I'm putting the pink back. It's disappearing on me, but I'm going to keep adding it in. You can see it's getting a little brighter as I go. So again, as the paint is wet, you can keep manipulating it. You just got to go a little quick with acrylics. That's the only thing. There we go. Nice blend. Elvin's here. Hello, Elvin. How was your Friday? I saw your post and I was worried. If you want to let us know what happened, feel free. If you'd rather just enjoy the vibes, that's cool. But welcome in. I'm glad you're here. If we all work together, we can do awesome things, right? By the way, Zarsu, you're fitting right in. That uwubi is like my favorite emote on all of Twitch, I've got to tell you. It really speaks to my soul. I want to be that uwubi for the rest of my life. Yeah, bless you for throwing that in the chat. I love him so, so much. And beat the devil out of it. Not today, not today. I made that mistake and it went all over my PC tower, so I won't be doing that. And to be frank, I'd have to change my name. Oh, did I miss something, Magic? What happened there? Sorry if I missed your comment. I wanted to paint tonight, but so tired. Oh, that's okay. I feel like a lot of people are feeling that way, Phoenix. I've heard from a few of you who were planning on painting. You're saying you're a little tired today, so no worries, no worries. Don't worry about it. Definitely a bad joke. Oh, to be frank, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing this when I'm doing a tutorial because these things just fly over my head. I get too concerned and I'm like, what do you mean? Oh my gosh, I missed a comment. No, it's just a dad joke. It's just a nice pun that I missed, so bless you, Magic, bless you, and Grog for bringing it to my attention. Yeah, you're welcome, Sharon. Here it is. John Robinson Leather, welcome. And what type of paint? It is acrylics that I'm using today. Make love to the canvas. Thanks, Bob. A solid piece of advice as always. I love that little bee. Shannon, they're my favorite. There's a whole like Pride collection of emotes that Twitch released last summer. I have at least all the bees. I don't know if I have the whole collection in general, but I know I have all the bees, and the bees are what make me happiest. Hold on, I'll throw them all in there. Yeah, I love them so much. Just, I want that energy at all times. The little uwu energy there. Yeah, Groki's got them too. The pushing up of the cheeks, the little blushy, just the eyes. It's all perfect. I don't know who designed those emotes, but oh my gosh, they're the best. Even the flying one, Pride Cute, with the big eyes. You're like, ah! Yeah, they're all the best. I see your message, Elvin. I'll read that in a second. I want to make sure I'm reading the whole thing. Everyone else, I'm just going to blend down to one more color for the sky, and then we get down to the snow. So I did put a little peach down here, a little peach. It does get a little bit hidden, you can see in the original, but it does kind of poke through. I left a little bit below the trees so you could see it. You can see through the trees a little bit, so I would say still worth it. To make peach, what I like to do is I like to grab... These are both dry piles of yellow. There's no yellow on here. I'm touching around to all the yellow and they're all dry. It's because I didn't put any fresh yellow. Just volcano plate problems. Okay, a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit. We're putting it in the pink. If you put too much yellow, it will change it into more of an orange. So I just want to make sure I'm offsetting with more red rather than yellow and then using white to lighten it up into more of a peach. So keep playing around with those colors until you have a peach shade that you like. Again, just a little bit of yellow and you can see that's a little more peachy now. Peachy girl. There we go. That's probably better. Yep, maybe a little lighter. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, good one, good one. All right, so same thing. I'm putting that just below the pink. I would say we're approaching 2/3 of the way down. Maybe a teeny bit higher. It depends on how much of each color you put, of course, so keep that in mind. You might be a little higher, a little lower if you put more or less pink or more or less blue. But if you're generally in the halfway to 2/3 area, I would say that's great. Again, my horizon line is a little lower than half, so that's where I'm going to be trying to aim for. Same thing, left and right, back and forth. move it on up to the pink, and then I'll blend in as our final blend for the sky. We have a little more blending to do in the snow, but this will be the final sky blend. Left and right, left and right. And if anyone, by the way, ever gets into a scenario where two colors are not blending, it's probably just because you took maybe a little extra time and the paint just dried a little quick on you, so blame the paint, it's not your fault. You can always just re-add a little bit of the previous color, and that'll really help with blending. So in this case, if something wasn't blending, I would have just re-added some pink and then used my brush to go back and forth. So you're just kind of using the fresh pink on top of the fresh peach color, and that'll solve all of your problems. There you go. So that's the final blend in mine. I'll just give a little couple minute break at this point to catch up on chat, and also to give everyone some time if you need to add some more layers or blend a little more, you can do that. Looks like my purple turned quite blue there, but that's okay. Again, everyone's painting is going to be a little bit different. You can always look at mine if you want to match it a little bit closer. But let's compare just for fun. Yeah, it's close, it's close. I would say this should be a little more purple, but otherwise the pink is matching, the peach is matching. I know it's hard to see, but it is there. Anyway, just curious. There you go. Okay, well, it was a scheduling question. Okay, so not fired yet, though I was like, am I excluded? Yeah, for real. Very sus. I had an interview with Geico, though. Oh, good. Okay, Alvin, that's looking up. That's good. Yeah, and I'm glad it wasn't what you thought. I was, again, honestly a little nervous when you posted that text. It didn't look good, but yeah, that's good. All right. Scheduling question, maybe it's working up to it, but I think, you know, it'll all be okay. I think it'll all work itself out. All those pride bees. I had 1 day off and 9 working nights. Wow, I know all about tired. Yeah, for real, Sharon. You're working very, very hard. Yeah, 1 day off and 9. That's a lot. That brings me back to serving days. That's kind of what I would do. I would do like a week and a half of working and then 1 or 2 days off and then right back at it. Absolutely. Sending good vibes. Position. Oh, how'd she get the peach? It was yellow into the pink. Sorry, pizza. So I had the pink, which was red and white, and then I put a little bit of yellow on top. Hopefully I didn't miss you too long there. But yeah, it was the yellow into the pink. So red and white, a little bit of yellow. And then rad, same thing. Sorry if I missed you there. Red and white, and then a little bit of yellow. Yellow is the least amount, because the more yellow you add, the more it'll turn orange. So I would offset it with more red or more white if you find it turning orange. Thanks, actually, Squirt responded there. Thanks. Customer service rep, so starting bottom. It would be much better. Good, good. And again, I think it's more about the environment right now, so I hope it's a good team and environment. Yep, I think that's clear. Sure, if you're in the States, you can browse. Oh, I think the link was Black Poppy. If you want to post that, you can maybe like message Alvin, or you're welcome to post anywhere in the Discord. Tag Alvin. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. Certainly nervous about a career change. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Do tend to have a pretty good postings. Oh, okay. I've never, yeah, I don't live in the States, so I'm not sure. Sorry, Poppy, it was automatically blocked. Hope is here. Welcome in. Evening air in a chat. Strange to see such a small paint palette, right? I know. It's growing. I almost said, like, here's the volcano plate. I don't quite feel ready to call it that, though, because it hasn't even breached the surface, but you can see it's getting a little more sturdy. So it's working. It's working. Yeah. Check it out. Excellent. Yeah, again, you can whisper, post whatever you like, Poppy. Sorry again. It's just to stop those spammers, because they come in hot with their links, man. I just block them all at this point. Okay, so I'm going to move on a little bit here, guys. I'm going to do a little bit more of the background, so I'll explain what's going on. I kind of had an idea of having, you know, a further background here with just these little kind of bushel-type trees. They're all very close to the horizon line here. You don't see any branches or anything. And there's just a little bit of, like, a snowy area, like a nice little open snowy area. And then I have this new area here, which is the foreground, kind of just like a shadowed snowy area, and then it blends down into white, and that's where our big trees are going to go. So I'm actually going to purposely leave a little bit of peach showing, just like I did in the original, because I kind of like the little peach glow. If you'd rather hide it, that's okay, but essentially what I'm going to do as a result is just grab my white paint, and I'm just going to do a strip of white, and I don't need to blend it this time, so no blending required. I'm just going to stick it right on top, And yeah, and just like match it right up close so I'm not leaving any gaps, but I'm not blending either. So I'm going to put some fresh white down. It's my noisy bottle. It's coming down to the end, but there's still some paint in here, so I'm going to continue squeezing forever until it stops. But it's just going to make a lot of funny noises in the meantime. All right, so I've got my large flat brush again. I did wash it off, and I'm just grabbing my white paint. And as I said, I'm not going to blend it. I'm just going to bring it right up close to the peach. The peach might be a little bit wet, just as a warning. But on mine, it seems to be dry enough that I can kind of go right up next to it, even maybe a little on top, and it doesn't really blend. There might be a tiny bit showing through, but it's enough that I can kind of make a nice straight line like this. And even if it changes a little bit, it's not going to fully blend in. So I'm just kind of using the edge of my brush, trying to create a relatively straight horizon line here. Again, not blending, just kind of closing up the gap. And then I'll put a little more white below it. So just kind of like using the width of my brush back and forth. That's about all it's needed. Maybe like an inch or so. I could go all day with trying to make it straight, but I won't. We don't need it to be perfect. There we go. That's probably good enough. So again, white paint, just like a little 1-inch strip right underneath. No blending required. I'm giddy tonight. Were you drinking yummy stuff before the painting tutorial? Charlene, my goodness, never. Honestly, no. No, I haven't had alcohol in a long time. Honestly, pandemic-wise, I feel like I just have learned that I don't drink alone. Honestly, no, Charlene. I mean, it might be because I didn't stream earlier. I don't want to say I'm giddy because I didn't stream earlier, but, you know, I had a little more time offline, and I think maybe I'm a little more energetic. Maybe. I'm interested that you noticed that, because I feel like I usually, like, turn up a little bit every Friday, but that's very interesting. Maybe I should take note of that. If you think it's a little more enjoyable, I look a little more giddy and happy, then I want to know. Yeah. Only joking, you're so funny. No, thank you, Charlie. I know you're half joking, but I think you noticed something a little different, so I appreciate it, and I want to note that. Alexa Online, welcome in. Thank you for following. I'm doing a little acrylic painting tutorial right now, so feel free to jump in the chat if you have any questions or if you just want to say hi. Alyssa's here. Hey, Erin, I missed the beginning. I'll do this tomorrow. Sounds good, Alyssa. No worries. If you have questions about how to access this video on Twitch, let me know, because it will be available right after I'm done. But if you know how, then you're all set. It'll be a little bit before it goes on YouTube. Son of a gun. If you use a stay wet palette, I know it keeps the paint wet, but it keeps the paint moist when you put it on your canvas. Oh, really? So it doesn't dry. Oh! Are you using that right now, Gray? Just water keeping the paint moist. Right. Toot noises during the toot. Add chemicals. Yeah, it's just straight up water. It's like a spongy surface on the bottom, Poppy, and then usually it's like parchment on top or something to stop you from like literally hitting the sponge. That's interesting, Gray. I didn't realize you were using that. Ooh. Like, it could be nice in other paintings though, just not this one when you're trying to do the peach, but otherwise that sounds nice. Dark's here. Welcome in, Dark. How's it going? Rest does really good. I guess so, yeah, I guess so. Like, maybe I'll consider this for next week. Not to say I'm, like, cutting streams, but that might be something I want to consider, is the fact that on Fridays I stream twice, and maybe I should just stream for nighttime, and then I'm a little bit more rested. I could even, like, maybe start a little early on a Friday, you know, instead of 7:30, maybe I'll do 6 or 5, and then kind of roll into a toot. I don't know. This is what I mean. I'm going to start experimenting a bit. Thanks, Alexa. Thanks for joining in on the chat and welcome in. Yeah, so this is what I'm recreating. This is my original design from last week. I created it live on Twitch, and now I do it step by step for everybody to follow. This one, that one, that one. I'm glad you like it. My white keeps blending. Oh, okay. So this is it. You could, or excuse me, pizza. You could just throw it on now. If it keeps blending, just let it dry. Just like let it sit for a little bit. We can do the rest of the blending down here. And by the time we've done this step down here, it should be dry enough that you can put white on top again. Sometimes it just keeps, it keeps blending. It keeps kind of pulling up from the bottom. It's best to just kind of leave it at that moment. And then you can always go back later. Canine's here. Hello. How are you feeling lately, Canine? Oh, just wet paper towel. Okay. So you made your own. Oh, you came on the raid. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. So you do tutorial every Friday? Yeah. I try and keep it consistent, Alexa. I've done it pretty much every Friday for the past, like, 7 months. The only time I've skipped, I think, was the holidays. I didn't do a Christmas one, maybe for 2 weeks or something around Christmas time. There may have been a Friday here and there that I skipped, but it's been very consistent. I have like 55 or 50 now that I've done, and there's a whack of them on YouTube if you're interested. I always do them live on Twitch and then post to YouTube after. Thank you, Groki. Yeah, those are all my socials, so I'd check out YouTube if you're interested in the tutorials in general. Or come, another Friday, or stick around today, see how it is. Next Friday, I'm painting this kind of winter stag here. And I'll be doing it step by step. Yeah, so that's next Friday if you're interested. And what I do is I create the design on Twitch usually the week before. So I'll create, a design for 2 weeks from now, next week, and it just keeps going and going. So yeah, I try and keep it consistent. 2 times a day is a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Like Fridays I'm usually able to do, but I think combined with everything else, especially if it was like a Thursday that I had before, or I usually do the Saturday stream, it tends to be a lot. So I'll think a little more about it for sure. You're welcome, Pizza. I hope it helps. I'll move on to another step here, and then I'll read the rest of the comments there. So next step is we're just going on to this foreground area here. So what I did is I created a very nice dark purple, and then I did more blending. I blended down into a nice kind of light purple and then white down here. So let's create a nice dark purple first. So you can use the same brush we've been using, this nice large flat brush. Just gonna wash it off. And I'm mixing only red and blue together now, because I want a very dark purple. Red and blue. There we go. And just naturally the red and blue will create a nice deep dark purple. So again, don't add white unless you want to lighten it up, but I want to keep it dark because we're in the foreground now. We want these nice and crisp and dark. And you can even change the tone of the purple. You'll see if you add more red, it becomes more of like a little bit brighter kind of royal purple. If you use more blue, it'll be more of a bluish purple, of course. So yeah, play around. If you don't like the purple you have, try adding a little more red, try adding a little more blue, get something that you like. So I'm using this dark color, and once again, I'm just doing a nice straight line. I'm not trying to blend it. So again, I'm kind of going right up against the white, and or a little on top if you need to. I went a little on top, and you can see it's lightening up my color. So to stop that, I'm just going to add a little more on top. And then you can see I'm kind of lengthening it a little bit down. I'm just, again, using the width of my brush, so about an inch, maybe a little less. I'm just adding that nice dark purple. So just a little strip of that dark purple. We want to keep the darkness way up here, and then we're going to quickly blend down. And I'll tell you right now, it's looking like my foreground is maybe a little lower than my original. I think my foreground is more like a third. I'm looking at more like a quarter here. So that just means my trees will be a tiny bit more down the canvas, if that matters to anybody. Again, you can adjust the way you want, but I'm just giving you a heads up what mine is looking like compared to the original. Less schedule, less stress for me. I have a friend who schedules her day out in 15-minute increments. I cannot promise more than 2 things being in a certain time frame in a day because I despise being late. I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, I like that. Mixing the nice paints. I have the cheapos. Oh, the nice paints. These are cheapos too, trust me. These are Start Academic Acrylics. They come in 2-liter jugs, and they're meant for school. They're meant for like little kids to play around with, honestly, but I love them. I think they're very pigmented. They're a little bit more watery, a little bit more thin, and I actually prefer that at this point. It's because I'm so used to them at this point, Alexa, but I really love them, yeah. It's my birthday today. It is! Oh, I didn't know that! Happy birthday, Canine! Oh my gosh! My folks dropped me off food, a couple kitchen items. Oh, another friend dropped off some fresh bread. Oh, what a gift. I would love fresh bread. Couldn't give them hugs, but it was a good day. Oh, Canine, happy birthday. I had no idea. Feeling blessed and better, of course. Still short of breath, but otherwise, yeah, that's more what I was asking about. How are you feeling breath-wise, breathing-wise and all that. Good. Oh, man, I think I kicked it. Excellent. Wow, that's so much to be excited about, Canine. I'm so glad it was a good day. I know there's, like, no hugs and stuff, but being dropped off some little gifts and food and fresh bread, I don't think it can get much better right now. So, Canine, I'm so glad. And again, more so that you're feeling better. That's really, really good news. I'm really happy to hear. Wonderful. Happy birthday. Yeah, for reals. Big hype. I want to give some hype too. Whee! Amazing. I'm going to blend real quick, guys. We want to make sure this purple doesn't dry on us, so let's do a little bit of a color change and blend. So I'm going to mix together a nice light purple, and then we'll do white. So I'm just going to use the same brush. No need to wash it off. Adding white to my purple color if you want to just even make a new pile and grab a little bit of purple. That works. So just creating kind of a soft purple. We're going to put that below the dark purple. So again, you can see I'm starting a little bit further below the purple, and I'll work my way up. And then we're blending again, so just brushing in between those two colors. So we're keeping the dark color up high and moving into a lighter purple. There it goes, nice blend. Cool, look at that. Again, this is a little darker than my original, so if you want to change that, or if you need to change anything, you can always put paint on top. I'm putting just a little more white to lighten it up dramatically. That's a little better. It's a little lighter like my original. Yeah. Keeping that dark purple way up high. I'll give a quick minute. Thanks everyone, having COVID sucks. Yeah, but I'm better. That's I know, K9. It's I'm just so happy that you're feeling a lot better. I think pretty quickly too. I know you've had it for a little bit, but the fact that you're on the up and up is huge. Big long distance hugs. Of course, always. Happy birthday. Hope the shortness but goes away soon. Yes, absolutely. Love when Erin looks directly in the camera for emphasis on excitement over fresh bread. It's hard not to, Poppy. It's hard not to. I gotta get my point across. Okay, the fresh bread. If I had a zoom feature, I'd zoom in and be fresh bread, like right in the camera. I need to get on that. I am actually using my Stream Deck today. Wowee, look at me go. You can't see it, but I'm pressing all the fun buttons today, so I'm getting used to using it again, and therefore I think I'll be more motivated to do some fun little features like that, some dramatic camera angle switches, so I'll get on that soon. Today in my class, I used your teaching of blend. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, Vonda! That makes me so happy! My things are working! My tips are being used. Excellent. Yeah, it's, again, like, both ways work, blending first and then going down, but again, doing the color first, again, allows it to be nice and clean to begin with, and then it allows you to blend after, or else your brush can get messy. Okay, last step, I'm just adding some white, again, starting from the bottom, working my way up. I'm trying to get clean white, but mine might be a little bit dirty from my plate here. That's pretty clean. So I'm starting from the very bottom. This is the last color of the background. So your whole canvas should be covered after this. Starting at the bottom, moving left and right, and we start blending into the color above it. So we start to get a really nice soft transition now. Woohoo, there we go. In between, there we go. So it ends up being pretty pure white at the bottom. All right, and that's our whole background. So I'm just, once again, gonna leave that for a minute or two at least. And I think the next step is we're gonna go back up here. We'll do a nice little sunshine there. How is that not a command? Fresh bread. I know, we need like bun or bread or something. Fresh bread zoom button. I'll just label it on the Stream Deck as fresh bread. And that's the zoom, absolutely. Trisha does the zoomy thing and it takes me by surprise a lot. I've seen her go back and forth with it. I've seen a lot of people do the zoomy thing for emphasis, so I want to get on that train. It does look like a lot of fun to do and to see. It takes you by surprise. Yeah, she does it well. The other thing I want to do is set up zooms for, just for like different areas in the background, because I feel like I'm always referencing things like the Bob Ross shrine here, or, you know, Bold and Brash, and I just want to be able to quickly show people those things without getting up and moving things. So yeah, my other idea is to like get some predetermined zooms that zoom in on certain sections, and then that way I can quickly switch amongst those. I really want to utilize the Stream Deck a little bit better. There's so much cool functionality behind it and I barely use it, so That's another goal I have very soon, is to kind of, yeah, clean that up and use it for its intended purpose. It's supposed to make my life easier, and it's supposed to make the stream a little more fun, so I'll get on it. Yeah, I think it makes sense, Poppy, or the cool painting that Allie gave me. The chicken, yeah, there's so many things. There's so many things. Chicken noodle could be zoomed in on if I lean back. Need to add a fresh bread to the option to send you. That's true. I need a bread treat stream, don't I? Want to just send me bread? I would eat it, honestly. I've mentioned this before, but like, I love just eating straight buns and straight bread. No butter. No butter. Just chomp into the bread. When I was a kid at the grocery store, like moving along with my mom as she was getting groceries, if I had a little bun in my hands, I was just the happiest. I was fine. I didn't need to be watched. I didn't need to be, yeah. I was totally fine if I had a little bread. Visit the bread section, get one of those crusty rolls, and just nibble on that. Perfect. It occupied me for so long. I was so happy. Or a little pizza roll. Like they have, yeah, the rolls, and then they put like cheese and a little bit of, like tomato and herb and stuff. Delicious. Pizza bread, pizza roll. Yeah, for real, Poppy. I'm not lying. I want the crusty bun. The crusty roll. I think they called them like the crusty roll or submarine bun. Either one. Either one I'd go for. I don't need no snacks. I don't need no chips, chocolate, anything. Just a bun. Just a solid bun. Send bread to the P.O. box. It's called What Color Will It Be When It Gets There, right? It's just some, like, blue cheese, you know? It's just aged bread. We've got some blue bread. Eat around the mold. Yum. What color does it get there? Carbs are my soulmate. Yeah. Speaking as... it's coming from me, who's, like, always trying to avoid carbs. Because I'd eat all of them all day if I didn't. So I don't buy pasta and stuff like that, which is so contradictory because... oh, I didn't turn that on, did I? So contradictory. If I order in, I always order something very carb related. But when I grocery shop, I try to avoid it because that's all I would snack on. I would only eat bread. If I had it in the house, it would just be straight bread. But yeah, they are honestly my soulmate as well. The carb cravings. Okay, that should be fixed now. My automatic timer, I was just noticing. Bread is always a win. I agree. I can see baby Erwin in my mind stumbling around the store happily chomping on bread, ooh. That's me. I don't even want to say I was baby. I was just like, yeah, kid size, you know? Happy with bread. Bread's at the top, absolutely. What's my treat stream link? It's in the about section. Oopsie. I'm not sure if I can navigate to it right now, but if you click my name and then click about, we should have a command for that. That would be beneficial. I should do like a treat command. Yeah, you can see the link in there, Vonda. Let me know if you need any help with it. Yeah, I'll pull that up for later. I'm in Canada, Alexa, yeah. I don't know if you were asking because of an accent. I don't think I have an accent, but some people do. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm in Southern Ontario. Are you Canadian too? Thanks, Poppy. Poppy got you there. Canadian girl. Oh, fun! New Brunswick. Oh, okay. You're like 2 hours behind? 6:40, 7 o'clock? Very cool. We don't have many East Coasters here. We have a lot of other Canadians here, Alexa. A lot from Ontario, because that's where I'm from. And some out west, I would say. Not too many. I know Alberta and like Western Ontario for sure. Not as much Eastern though, so welcome in. Whoa. So cool. Almost 10. Oh, ahead. Right. I'm always thinking West Coast. That's right. Almost 10. Okay. Pizza nose. Cool. Yeah. I'm always going backwards. It's, again, I'm more used to the West Coast, and I'm always, like, going backwards. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Groki. I think that's perfect. Oh, lovely. That's all. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. You can send it. Yeah, amazing. Because I know that link is kind of buried. So if people can't find it, then, yeah, there it is. Erin, can you treat Erin to something to eat? Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Grok. Oh, GG Kins. Hello. Woodstock, Ontario. See? Yeah. If anyone else wants to share where they're from, feel free. It's always fun to know if you want to share. No worries if not. Yeah, Woodstock. It's close by to me. Very close by. I only have to think one way. It's true. You don't have to think backwards or forwards. Everyone is behind for real. No, Grok, I think that's perfect. It just, yeah, something simple like that. I didn't need like a whole explanation of it. I think people know what it is. They're always just wondering where it is. Okay, quickly I'm going to add my little sunshine just to keep this moving here. I see lots of people sharing where they're from, so I'm excited to see in a minute. But I'm going to switch brushes first of all. I've got my medium round brush. So any like smaller brush, as long as it's just not a big wide one or a big flat one, I think that's fine. Any medium or small even is fine. And I'm going to mix together a very, very soft yellow. So I'm going to mix together white with a tiny bit of yellow. So just a soft, soft yellow. You could say a buttery yellow. I don't like butter, but I don't mind using it for a color reference. So buttery yellow it is. Lots of white, little yellow. Mine's mixing a little with the blue. That's why you see me moving around here. It's getting a little muddy. Let me get some fresh white on here. You only need a little of this. Not a lot. Just a wee bit. Ooh, lots of countries being shared. I'll read in a second. I'm excited. I like knowing where people are from. I try my best even just to say like an appropriate good morning versus good evening. That's all I'm wondering for. Okay, I'm going to put this right in the middle. I would say in the purple section. It's kind of the purple, maybe close to pink section, but trying my best to get the middle of the canvas. It's pretty like small to medium size, so you can make your circle however you want. You can see what I like to do is I start small and just slowly get bigger. Mine's a little off to the left, so let's get bigger on the right-hand side. You can grow it on the right to shift it. Okay, and what I do is I keep it solid to start, so it's just a solid circle, and you might see there's a little glow in my reference. I'll teach you how to do the glow in a quick second. Do that little circle first, and then I'll teach you how to glow it up. My friend lived in Moncton, New Brunswick for a bit, lived in Calgary. Always got the two mixed up. They're far away. Sharon, Peterborough, Purple, Michigan. We got Woodstock as well for Charlene. Oshawa, Toronto, Sushi. Hello, I see you there. Oh, Woodstock, New Brunswick too. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm glad it was specified Woodstock, Ontario. Yeah, I didn't know there was a Woodstock, New Brunswick. Cool. Southern California. Trauma of getting it wrong is built into me now. Sydney, Australia. Guelph. India. Old welcome and hello, Emma. I see you. Sydney, Australia. Very exciting. I love when we hear we have people from around the world. Groki's from Sweden, for those who didn't know. Yep, butter. I know, the buns are worldly. We seriously are worldwide. We Mr. Worldwide here, okay? Pitbull, come at us, for real. There's buns everywhere. Hi, Sweden. Very good, Gray. Say that to everybody now. Hi, Woodstock. Hi. Hi, Guelph. Hi, Sydney. So cool how we are such a small world. I know! It's really cool, Alexa. It's neat to know we're all awake at the same time. Some people are painting at the exact same time. I think it's so cool. Indiana, most southern tip of Lake Michigan. Miko, hello! Erin Milady, chat. Hello, Miko. Welcome in. How are you this eve? What are you up to? Yellow and a little bit of white. Or I would say mostly white, rather. Sorry, Pizza. Mostly white, little bit of yellow. Mostly white, little bit of yellow. Sorry if I didn't repeat that, Mandy. Mindy, excuse me. Mandy? Where'd I miss you? Mandy, it is right. Okay. Yeah, lots of white, little yellow, so sorry. It's like a buttery yellow. Hello, Canada. Oh, the bob finger technique. You're right. We watched a Bob Ross tutorial on Saturday that I followed along with, and he straight up used his finger and just went like that. And I was like, genius. Why bother with a brush? Just use your finger. It's so true. If anyone's having trouble with their brush, just use a finger. Bob did it. Bob Ross did it. Why not you? Yes, I thought of Miko too last night. We watched Pocahontas. I've never seen it. Yeah, I forgot it was named Miko. He's so cute. Bognor, Ontario for great. Hello, welcome in. 2 to 3 hours from me. Oh, okay, okay. Sketch, welcome in. Hello, hello. Greetings from far north Queensland. Yeah, very cool. Welcome in, Sketch. How have you been recently? Miko's my spirit animal. Yeah, for both. Yeah, kind of like blending out. Yeah, it's a good way to do it because your finger doesn't hold much paint, and that's the whole idea. You want to softly blend it out. So I'm actually going to do that right now, everyone. I'm going to teach you how to blend out this little sunshine here because, again, it's not solid. We have a little bit of a glow in the original. So to make it a little bit glowy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to wipe off any remaining paint. So it's not cleaning the brush. I'm not like full on putting it in water, getting it fully clean, but I'm just wiping it on a towel or my apron here just so there's almost no paint left. You can see there's like a little bit of a tint on it, but just no blobs of paint. Like the bristles are kind of coated, but barely. And now what I can do is I can swirl around the sun, and just small amounts of paint are going to rub off of the brush. They kind of just scrape off or rub off, and that's going to create a little bit of a soft glow. And I just keep it a little bit small. I'm not going to go way far out. I'm just lightly scraping along. And there you go. You now have a nice bright sunshiny middle, and then it just kind of glows on the outside. So minimal paint on the brush, softly swirling like that, and that gives you a nice little glow around it. If you need to, just add a little more paint. If it's maybe not scraping off enough, a tiny bit more paint, very softly rub, and that's all you need to do. Yeah, I forget. Me too, Mizzy. Yeah, I'm so glad that was called out because that was honestly groundbreaking when I saw him do that. And I created the perfect circle when I followed along. I was like, doo-doo, there we go. Bob approved, for real. If it's good enough for Bob, it's good enough for everyone. I agree. So cute and thought of you. I love the Aussies. Most of my regulars from there. Oh, really? We love the Aussies too. Hee hee. Groki, you can see her with her little ooh bee. Original digital technique. Use your fingers. Right. True. Pog. Gonna lurk and listen. Sounds good, Sketch. Sounds good. Hope you've been having a good morning. Yeah, where is he? Usually he's right on that. Now that you've said his name, I'm sure he'll appear because he is always watching. Eek! Alright, so we've got the little glow there. Now what we can do is we can move on to the background. I'll kind of zoom in here. This is the magic of my little setup, everybody. For those who are new, I can zoom in. Whoa! I just want to show you a close-up of these little bushes here because there's a few colors going on. So yeah, the background bushes are what we're looking at. What I did is I started with kind of a soft purple. And I just kind of dabbed it everywhere here, kind of moving my brush up and down to get all these kind of individual bushes or trees. They can be whatever you want. They're bushes, they're trees, they're just colorful blobs, they're whatever you want. But yeah, soft purple to start. And then what I did is I tapped on a little bit of peach, and then I tapped on a little bit of a white as well. You can see the white kind of closer to the top just to highlight. So it will be 3 different colors. So we're just going to go nice and slow, softly tapping, and then a second layer and a third layer. Nice little preview there. So I'm going to use my medium round brush for all of that. I'm going to mix together a nice soft purple on my plate. So as a reminder, purple is made by mixing red and blue. And then to soften it up, I'm putting white in there. Again, adjust the purple as you like. If it's a little bright or a little blue, you can add more blue or add more red, whatever you want. But I'm just going for any soft purple. Oh my gosh, Vonda! Bagel is bread, just add catnip! Oh my gosh, Vonda, thank you so much! That'll be so nice after stream. The comfort food. Oh, I need some comfort. Vonda, thank you so much. I'll watch my phone, make sure I'm not missing anything alert-wise. I think that'll be perfect timing. I bet that'll come like right before the end of the tutorial. So thank you so much! Wow. Thank you so much for utilizing that so much, you guys. That's, again, I'm still blown away by how often that's used. Wow, I can't wait. Comfort foods are gonna be beautiful. Nice little donut in there, a nice bagel and cream cheese, amazing. Okay, so there's some purple. So what I'm gonna do now, everybody, is I'm gonna softly tap it on. So off screen, I just wiped off my brush a little bit. I didn't want a lot of paint on there, so I kind of tapped it off on a towel or my apron. And then all I'm doing is I'm going straight at the canvas and tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Listen to those beautiful tapping sounds. Ooh. Hopefully you can hear it. I hope so. I hope so. I'm like, listen, you can't hear a thing. So you can see, because I'm using just a little bit of paint, it's all very softly coming off. It's not like it's coming off in big blobs. It's all just softly kind of, again, scraping almost. It's like when we did the outside of the sun. It kind of scrapes off. Okay, so I'm keeping it, of course, very close to the horizon line. I want to make sure that's getting a little bit covered. But in terms of the top of these bushes, I'm kind of just going up and down, bushes or trees, again, whatever you like. Just kind of moving it a little up and down. So it either looks like tips of trees or, again, like individual bushes. I guess for bushes, they'd be very big bushes if that's what they are, because they're in the background. So they're probably more like trees. Let's say trees. Tapping, you can even rub. You see maybe I'm kind of like swirling or rubbing a little bit. That works as well. So if you find yourself switching to that just to go maybe a little quicker, I find that's maybe a tiny bit quicker. You can of course do that. Again, the main key is that you have a little bit of paint on your brush. So I've done all of this without reloading my brush. I'm just continuing to tap a little harder or scrape a little harder, and then that way more paint comes off and it stays consistent. But I've done all of this without reloading my brush. That's how little is on there, and that's like how much is being used considering how little is on there. Very helpful. Just a little bit of paint is all you need. Again, trying to get nice and close to the bottom. And don't worry about gaps. Again, gaps are kind of nice to be able to see through, so it keeps your trees nice and soft. But we're also going to add 2 more layers of this with different colors. So there you go. You always have that to cover up more. Is he Santa Claus? He's always watching. Yeah, I feel like he says that, doesn't he? Say like he sees, he knows you're sleeping. Not when you're sleeping, he just knows you're sleeping. It's good the whole year promised, but Santa never came. Where is he? Santa, you missed somebody. Got stuck in quarantine. There he is. He literally said it. I know when you're sleeping, Kappa. It's like we've heard it before. Sweats. Thanks for shouting him out, streaming some art. Double shout out. The man gets a double shout out. That's not allowed. We always had Mrs. Santa Claus come on New Year's. She would drop off everything Santa forgot. Oh, that's kind of her. What colors did you mix? Oh, sorry, Emma. I mixed red and blue and then a little bit of white. So it's just kind of like a soft purple is what I'm using. So red and blue, little bit of white. Sorry if that took a minute. Soft purple. It's, I would say it's very similar to that sky color we had, maybe a little bit lighter. So if you have any of that left over, you could use that color. Soft purple. This one here. Looks maybe a little darker on camera. It's a little softer in person. I should try and adjust that for next time. Hard to tell. Maybe my monitor is a little off. Who knows? So yeah, you can see how as I moved this way, it got a little bit softer each time because there's less and less paint. So if you need to re-add a tiny bit of paint, maybe dab a little bit more, you can always go back and fill in a few more gaps or just leave it. Again, we have 2 more colors to add, so you might see some gaps being filled up anyway. That's a good start, I think. That's a good start. Cool. Yep, so I'll just leave those there. You can have a look. Again, you can change them up, make them taller if you want. I would say mine just about breached the pink area, for example. In this painting here versus my original, I kind of left a little more peach showing, which is what I like. So that's just another little difference that you see there. Bot was very slow, so we got 2. Really? Really? It's not a scheme that he's getting 2 shoutouts? I'm only kidding, Groki. Sneaky, sneaky. Not on topic, but have you painted with a toothbrush before as a challenge or something? Ooh, I haven't done it as a challenge, Poppy. I have technically used it for stars before. I don't really think on stream, but in the past I have. It's great for flicking. If you have an old toothbrush with very stiff bristles, you can add some white to it and go just like I do with my paintbrush. But the toothbrush works better because they're stiffer bristles. Is that something you'd like to see, that I attempt to paint with only a toothbrush, or like something similar, like toothbrush and other bathroom items? I can't think of many other bathroom items which would apply, but I'm down to think about it. I love challenges like that, Poppy. So honestly, my mind is spinning right now. What else could there be? There's like floss in the bathroom. I can't see using that. What else is in the bathroom? A loofah. Remember using a toothbrush once for the stars, right? And Q-tips. Oh yeah, people love Q-tips. They love Q-tips for painting. I could totally do something like that. A loofah would be funny. Stars is the only time I've done it, but the scraping of the brush, yeah, I think that could work if you use a tiny bit of paint and then tap the bristles of the toothbrush. I think it would work pretty much the same way as what I'm doing right now. Good call. And yeah, I've definitely seen people use big piles of Q-tips, and they dip in the paint and then like tap, tap, tap for like florals and stuff like that. Some far back floral arrangements. Yeah. Bathroom paint theme. Yeah, I would be down. I have a sponge that I have cut up into small pieces. There you go. Yeah, that's kind of like another tapping method for sure. Oh, and then River says, how about a sponge? Yeah, I'd consider that. Or, yeah, kind of, yeah, you could find little sponges in the bathroom, or, those little cotton tabs, or not tabs, cotton, pads. I wonder how I'd use those to paint, though. That'd be interesting. Floss, right? Like, what would I use the floss for, though? I'm trying to think. I could, like, scrape it in the paint. I don't know what it would be used for, though. I'll keep chatting about this in a second. I'll just start adding my second color. So second color to the trees, everybody, is the peach. So if you feel like you have enough peach maybe showing through, you could skip this step if you want, but I did pile a little bit more peach on top. Again, I'll just zoom in to show you. But you can see there's definitely peach piled on top of this just to give it a little bit of a different color on top. So if you like that look, I'm going to do that now. And because we were doing just a tiny bit of paint, you should find that the paint is dry here. And then that way it's not going to mix when you put the peach on top. So if that's what you're worried about, don't worry about it. As long as you're using just a small amount of paint and not blobbing it on, this should be perfectly fine to go over top of. So I'm going back to my peach color. As a reminder, peach is made by mixing white and red to make pink, and then a little bit of yellow to turn it peach. So if you need to remix it, I needed to remix mine because it was dry. Again, red, white, a little bit of yellow. Going a little more pink. There we go. And it's just going to be the exact same technique. I'm just wiping my brush off, especially after mixing, because mixing really puts paint far into the bristles. So I'm really making sure I'm wiping off a lot. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm softly tapping or softly scraping on top of those little purple trees or bushes. You can see it makes a little bit of a difference. Even though I still see peach showing through, you kind of get the layering of the peach on top of the purple. So I would say it's still an important step. If you like the look of my trees in the original, I would still add some peach on top, even if you see some peach in the background. But again, that's your call. There we go. Coming together. Sounds like a new community goal. I think that would be great as a community goal. I agree. That would be a really fun stream. I love, again, I love doing painting challenges like that where I'm using different things or, you know, not looking at something. It's always a fun challenge to paint, right? Rather than just straight up looking at a canvas and painting. I love trying to test myself with all the little barriers that I have. I did painting with food at one point for those who missed it, where I used only food items to paint a painting. I did painting without looking at one point. We did the Bob Ross paint along, which I'll definitely be doing again, by the way, for those who maybe missed that or were interested in it. I will be doing that a second time, maybe third, fourth, fifth time, just so you know. But yeah, sounds like a good community goal. I agree. Sponge or scrunched up paper towel would work for bushes and trees. That's right, too. I love the technique of paper towel specifically. It's a little bit thicker. Gives a really nice texture when you kind of put a little bit of paint on it. Go ch-ch-ch-ch. Good call, Lori. TJ, you think that would be funny? Cindy, hello! Could you try using a disposable razor for a paint scraper? That's an idea. I could scrape on some mountains using a razor? Cut the canvas? Honestly, I would try that. Welcome in, Cindy. I hope your evening's going well. That's such an idea. Yeah, I want to peruse my bathroom and try and think of more things to use. I think this is a great community goal. I'm going to leave that tab open so I can make that before next stream. Very good, very good. Use absolutely no pressure, just like an angel's wing. Bless you, Bob. For real, we need to use a little bit less pressure for this, so Bob, you're right on cue. Ryan, hello! Oh, I woke up too late to follow along. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, though. As you know, the VOD will be available, Ryan. You could start right now if you wanted. You could just go right back to the start of the VOD and kind of catch up if you like. You can be chatting with us in a different window at the same time. Or just leave it for another day. If you feel a little rushed to start, don't worry about it. It'll stay on here, and then it'll go to YouTube. So no worries. I'm glad you're here, though. I'm glad you slept in. It might be good that you kind of slept in a little bit, got a little extra sleep, so you're good. Yay, paper towels are useful for galaxies. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, people use them to blend, like not even just to put foreground items on, but they like blending with them too. So lots of ways to use them for sure, Hokie. Thank you for the socials link. Groki, you think I should put that just on like a timer? I don't have many timers in the chat, and I was wondering if I should just stick that as a timer. Opinions are welcome. I'm going to do one more color. We have a little bit of white. Let me just show you one more time. The white is very minimal. I would say I stick it closer to the top of these little trees and bushes because that's where the light is hitting. So that was kind of the goal. I wanted a nice highlight on top. So same technique. I'm using the medium round brush. I'm going to wash it off because, again, it's probably loaded up with peach. So I just want to make sure it's a little more clean because I'm doing white now. Same thing. I'm grabbing a little white on the brush. I'm going to tap it off on a towel or paper towel or wipe it off so there's minimal amounts on there, and then I'm going to very lightly tap it close to the top of my bushes and trees, and you can see it just adds a nice little highlight on top. It's not really even like a blobby, you know, snow look. You could add a little bit more white paint to your brush if you wanted to look like snow on top, but my thought was that it was kind of a yeah, just a nice little highlight on top. That's the look I was going for. So very softly adding. I'm going to continue to add a little more paint, tap it off. Tap it on here. And again, this is all the background, so it's a nice little practice round because we're going to be using a lot of this technique for adding to the foreground trees as well. So just as a heads up, this is like a nice little practice round. This will be mostly covered later, but still peeking out here and there, so good to use to practice. Sleeping is always good. Yep. Always. Good idea. Okay, Groki, I'll think about that. I'll do that. It'll be an easy thing to set up. I want to format, I just want to format those links better. They're all kind of just like one after another, and I want to kind of line them up a little nicer. I can add text around them to do that, so I've been meaning to do that. I'll get on it. Thank you for your idea. Doing this ASAP? Yeah, I hope so. Ooh, how do you blend with paper towels? That actually sounds super interesting. People use just like tapping, Ryan. So rather than blending like I do by going back and forth, they just kind of tap in between. They'll kind of go, you know, horizontally like this, but they're tapping up and down as they do it. And that way what the paper towel does is it picks up a little bit of the wet, kind of purple, wet pink, and just kind of molds them together. It won't be a very, you know, straight fade like this, but it'll still blend beautifully. It's kind of a little more, if anything, a little more authentic, I think, rather than the straight, you know, horizontal line that you kind of see. Not line, but the horizontal fade. Tapping kind of up and down makes it blend a little bit better everywhere, and it looks a little more, yeah, I guess natural coming all the way down. Big sleep guy. One thing at a time. Yep. Those are easy things. I'll try and get those done right after. Again, I've got it open. Community goal and the socials tab. That'll be easy. But thank you, Grog. I appreciate you continuing to say that. You're right. I'm getting a call, and I'm going to answer it just in case it's the bagel. One second. It was my bagel. Sorry for that little delay, guys. I was ordered food by Vonda in stream, so I didn't want that to be passed up. They were just changing my order a bit. Still coming, all good. What color did you mix to put on top of the trees? Oh, that's okay, Emma. It's just plain white, actually. Unless you're asking about the second color. So the first color was a light purple. Second color was a light peach. So that's going to be white, red, and a little bit of yellow. So just like the peach in the background. And the color I'm working on right now is just plain white. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of white on my brush, tapping it off on my paper towel, and then lightly tapping it on top. This is plain white that I'm doing right now. Let me know if you need more help. Vonda, they changed the bagel type and they changed the donut type, which is no big deal. Those are all beautiful comfort foods anyway. They are out of everything bagels, which I'm shocked by. I'm getting a sesame seed bagel. They are out of Boston cream donuts. Sad. Getting a vanilla dip instead. All good. They had all of the changes ready to go. They were just approving them, so I didn't want to ask about anything else. I was just like, sounds good, sounds good. So thank you again, Vonda. I will enjoy those when they come. Alright, so that's just a nice little white topper there. Kind of like a frosty highlight moment. Did you guys hear me during that? Was I muted? I feel like your phone voice isn't different from the regular. I absolutely have a different voice when I'm on the phone. I think I raised my voice, Poppy. I think I go, hello? Oh, no problem. Okay. Okay, I was muted, no worries. Yeah. Oh, no worries. Okay. I go a little higher, I think. I don't know what it is. I've gotten more comfortable on Twitch where I'm just using my natural voice, or at least as close to what I think my natural voice is. Honestly, when I was younger, I recorded myself on a, you're muted. Okay, thank you. I recorded myself on a tape recorder and I listened back and I thought my voice was way deeper than I thought it was. And so I think when I'm on the phone or like any sort of, yeah, I don't know, voice transmission other than, again, Twitch, which I've gotten used to, I make my voice higher because of that moment when I heard my deeper voice and I was like, oh, it's just not what I thought I sounded like. And so it's almost like I changed my voice on the phone to sound more like I think I sound. I don't know. It's really messed up. It's really messed up. I go higher too. We could hear everything. I got a little nervous. Not like I was being rude or anything. I was being very nice, but I don't know. The idea of a one-way phone conversation being broadcast is kind of weird. Although they were recording me, so I could have said the same thing. He started by saying, this is being recorded, and I could be like, you too, you're being broadcasted live. Hope that's cool. Oh, no worries, Poppy. I was just confirming. Yeah, okay, so I'm not the only one? Cool. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better, honestly, because I definitely go higher. Hello? Phone voice, yeah. Thought of you earlier, Erwin. I went out for squishy. Oh, what did you get? What kind of squishy do you like, Cindy? I definitely go higher. I'm the other way around. When I hear myself, I sound much. Really? Interesting. Yeah, I was like, it wasn't that I felt like my voice should be high. It's just, you know, you always hear your voice through your ears and then you hear it recording pumped into your ears and it's always different. And I was like, this isn't me. I want it higher. I go professional. Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking. This is she. Yeah. All is good. Just think of KR Cat begging for a bite. I will. Oh no, Charlene, are there any issues I can help you with? What's a squishy and where do I get one? Squishy is Cindy's nickname for sushi. But it is her squishy and it shall be hers, her squishy. Yeah, it's a cute little nickname for sushi and I've very much adopted it, by the way, Cindy. Anytime I say sushi now, I say sushi or squishy. I like squishy a lot better. Yummy, yummy squishy. Anyway, I'm glad I'm not alone. I definitely changed my voice. I don't know. It's just a habit. Oh, man. Again, I think even on Twitch, I think I started, I don't want to say higher. I was different for sure. I sounded very different. I was not as relaxed. And that's very much changed. I love sushi both times. You've only had it twice. Interesting. Is that just like you're not a huge... Well, you said you love it. Is there a reason you don't get it a lot, Poppy? Just budget? Maybe not available as much? I usually get maki rolls. Yeah, me too. Last time I got 2 tempura rolls. Oh, I love spicy tuna. Yeah! If you notice, that's what was in my order that you got me. Spicy crispy tuna. I don't like salmon very much. Always a roll. Yeah, I get sashimi here and there, but honestly, I'm more a roll girl as well. The other roll that was in my order you got me was a dynamite roll, and that's tempura shrimp, avocado... I think more like crispy in there, like crispy tempura. I think there's cucumber in there. A few things smushed in there, but it's the tempura shrimp that I like. Aaron comes to sushi shop. Hello, I want my squishy, please. Imagine. They'd be like, excuse me, you're an adult, ma'am. Hello, squishy, please. Alright, maybe let's do one more minute, just in case anyone's still catching up. I know a few of you were adding different colors there, or like still on the peach, for example. I'll give one more minute, and then I'll go on to the big trees in the foreground. I grew up where it wasn't available. Oh, I got you, though. Living on the coast, I've had it, but the restaurant's about an hour away. Makes sense, yeah. If it's just not really available, that makes sense. I love sushi. Ooh, I would love that. IRL stream, Aaron ordering sushi. My favorite is a cucumber with cream cheese. Oh, yeah. Oh, cilantro. I've never had any sushi with cilantro. I love cilantro, though. And then dip in spicy mayo. Yup. Spicy mayo on everything is good. Yeah, the cream cheese, Cindy, is hit and miss with some places. Not to say like it's bad in some places. Sometimes it's just not available, from what I see. I don't know if it's just a less popular item, but I usually go for a cream cheesy one. Usually it's cream cheese salmon from what I see, but I know you said you don't like salmon. Cucumber cream cheese is a nice, just like casual, clean one. Now I'm thinking of sushi. Erin puts down half nibbled bun to ask for sushi. Hi, sushi needs to happen. Chicken noodle needs to come too. If I ever do an IRL stream, I'll bring chicken noodle. Obviously. Chicken noodle needs to come everywhere if I do an IRL stream. Absolutely. That's a given. Okay, that was a good minute, so let's move on to the trees. I want to give everyone lots of time for the trees because I know some people like to really take their time with branches to get some nice thin branches. But yeah, essentially I added about 5 trees. There's kind of 2 hanging right on the sides here, so you're really just doing the branches and not as much of the trunk. You might see a little tip of the trunk here, but barely there. Can we move it a little over? Yeah, we got a little trunk on the left too, so like half trunks, mostly branches. And then I have 3 main trees in the middle. You can see I kind of offset them. I'm not evenly spacing them. I purposely offset them because I don't like when they're evenly spaced. So I kind of did 1 on the right, 2 on the left. And I try to keep them, as usual, a little bit different from one another. You don't need to, of course, you never need to. You never need to follow exactly what I'm doing. But just as an example, I made this tree have way more branches than the others. So they're all kind of going in a V shape, 45 degrees up. And there's lots of branches on this one. I made this one a little bit shorter with maybe a little less branches. This one has, I would say, the least amount of branches, but is very tall. So I'm just changing up sizes. Again, number of branches, maybe thickness of branches. You can see these ones are maybe a little thicker overall than some of these other very twiggy ones on the side. So yeah, just some ideas to change it up. And then the 2 side ones I would say are very short. Okay, so yeah, I would say just keep changing up your trees, make them all a little bit unique and individual. They're all their own trees, so you want to make sure you're making them, yeah, just unique in any way. As for the brush I'm using, this is controversial, but I use the biggest brush. I like the biggest brush because my brush is a large flat brush, and I can really utilize that flat tip there. You can see all the bristles very much line up together, so I can get a really nice thin line. But some people don't like to use it. Some people, yeah, have trouble with the longer bristles and the wider brush. So if you know you're someone who doesn't like a big brush, just take your time with a medium or a small brush. You can use a nice flat, medium flat brush or even a teeny tiny brush. It'll take you a little bit longer because those brushes hold less paint, but you'll get a nice thin branch as you go. So I'm going to teach using the large flat because that's what I'm using. I'll give you a few techniques and you can utilize those techniques with any brush type that you have. Yeah, sushi, next step is trees. That's what I'm doing now. So again, I'm mixing a purple. So whatever brush you're choosing to use, you're mixing red and blue together because we're getting a nice deep dark purple for the trees. Sushi flora, yeah. I'll read that in a second, Cindy. I'll do my little tree instructions and I'll catch right up with you. So I'm just applying some purple. You can see I'm really trying to flatten the brush as well. That helps prep the bristles so they're all lined up. I think that's important, kind of wiping like that. Let's do, I'll just start in the middle. It doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start kind of on the middle left area here. What I start with is a nice big trunk. So I'm using my brush vertically up and down. And I'm going up, 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 up. And just trying to do a nice thin trunk. Again, my trees are pretty thin. The trunk is the widest part, but I like to start thin just to be sure. And then I'm going to thicken a little bit from the bottom coming up. So you can see I'm just stroking a little bit beside, pulling up the tree. And what I'm doing is I'm releasing pressure as I go up so that it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. Sushi I thought is black. It's actually a dark purple. There's no black used in this painting. I used only color. So it looks black on the reference, but it is a deep dark purple. I have premixed purple, but it's not dark enough. Should I use a blue to darken it or black? Try blue first, I would say, Sharon, just because that'll keep it a nice kind of, even though it's you're going for dark purple, to keep it a bright purple, you know? If you add black, it turns a little more of a gray purple. I would try blue first. And then if that doesn't work, you can add more black into that as well. I like big brushes and I cannot lie. For real, that's me. I love the big brush. It holds more paint. It makes it easier. This is why I'm able to go all the way up like this, is because it's holding all of that paint in those bristles. So that's the main reason I like it. And then it is also thin. So yes, I start with a trunk and then I just start to add small little branches. So a lot of my trees here, I have branches kind of going up and then out rather than straight out. You can see some of them curve a little bit dramatically, maybe these guys here, but for the most part, I have them kind of coming up and out. No worries, Sharon. So in order to do that, I'm taking my brush. I like to go up along the trunk I've already painted. And then whenever I'm ready, I can just start to move either left or right. I'll move left and start to paint a little branch coming off. Boop, there we go. So I used a little bit extra pressure at the start because I want the branch a little bit wider. And then as I get further up, I'm releasing pressure. And then you can almost like flick the brush at the end by pulling down. If you pull down on your handle, the bristles will flick off of the canvas and create a nice little point there. Let's see if I can zoom you in. Bear with me here. No, we're not going to do that. Hold on. All right. This will give you a little bit of a better view as I do a couple more, and then I'll zoom out for you again, okay? So I'm going to use my, the thin edge of my brush going up, up, up. I'm going to move over to the right this time. And then at the end, I'm pulling my handle down, bristles flick up. Here's another, I'll go on this way, flick up. So handle comes down, bristles go up. So there's a couple just like that. Again, these are very like coming up the tree. That's going to be this tree. It has a little more of like vertical branches. And then once you have some branches, you can even split those. If you want, you can do some little V shapes at the end. That's what I kind of stick to, is a lot of V shapes. You see a lot of V's in here, right? Makes it look a little more natural. So you can split them at the ends or halfway up. It just kind of helps fill up the space without adding brand new branches. So feel free to do that. And again, you can do that with a little tiny brush if you prefer. You don't need to use the big brush for all of it. You could always start that way and then switch it up as you go. And you can see I'm going to add a few more down here. Maybe I'll get a little shorter as I get further down. Just little teeny guys. Maybe I'll make them a little longer. Just want to make sure there's a lot of space to fill up here. And that's one tree. I've just added a bunch of little branches, a bunch of little twigs on there. I'm going to zoom you back out again, get you a nice full view. There you go. And that's one. So I'm going to do that a bunch more. And again, you can do whatever styles you like, whatever sizes you like. I would just make sure you're kind of switching it up each time to give each tree a little bit of individuality. All right, Cindy, I'm going to catch up here. You know the guy that does Eggy? Yes. Eggy Bean, he does a lot of the chicken noodle crochet. Yes. He's been a sushi Yo, he was saying that. Yeah, I would love to learn to make it. He does streams, I think, where he makes maki rolls. Sounds good, Allie. Enjoy your dinner. I probably missed you there, but enjoy. Yeah, he was, Cindy, at one point he came to visit us in the chat here, and he mentioned that he used to be a professional sushi chef. So, and I know he was saying he's done streams before where he does make sushi. I don't know if he teaches it, but I'm sure he'd answer questions, and you could probably learn a little bit just by watching. I was very intrigued by that. I haven't really seen him do it since, but I know I had an email notification before that saying he was doing a cooking stream, so keep an eye out. I bet he does it here and there. It sounds like other people enjoy it, so I'm sure he wants to continue doing it. So I'm making this one nice and tall, for example. I'm going to put less branches on this one. They're going to be just nice, long, kind of emptier branches. That's how I'm going to switch up this guy. That's my food. Sometimes I want to leave it unmuted just so you guys can hear. Just now that we've talked about the phone voice, you could hear it. Hello? I'll buzz you in, thank you. Oh dear. Anywho. Yeah, longer branches, less of them. You can see I'm just keeping this one a little bit more open just to switch it up. Probably what I've loved is 2-inch brush. It holds lots of paint. Go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. Bob, right on point as always. My gosh. We are creating the tree limbs, and Bob says to go out on a limb. It's where the fruit is. There's none on my trees, Bob, but I understand what you're saying. Thank you. Let's maybe split this one more time. Split that one. You can see I really like my V shapes. I think they're just very subtle. Again, it adds a little bit more, not clutter necessarily, but it just fills it up a little bit more rather than adding more branches. I know I said that earlier, but I'll say it again. All right, I'll add a third tree. So I'm going to put this one nice and close by just to, again, offset things. They don't need to be all perfectly aligned if you don't want, or you could make them perfectly aligned. That's fine. But I say no to that. I'm going to purposely offset them. I'm going to get my trees done and then I'll grab the food. It's probably waiting out there. Very good. All right, this tree, I added lots of branches. I went like one at a time, just one after another. It looks like almost ribs almost. A little bone structure. Very kind of spooky in my opinion. All of them kind of in a row like that, and they're all very vertical. They're all very much going up. But again, just another different look of a tree. You can really experiment with all the looks just by the direction of your branches and the number of them. There's something like that. I'm going to split a few of those in two. And I know I'm going a little quick with adding these at this point. You should just keep taking your time. I've done lots of trees in my lifetime, so I'm able to get them on a little bit quicker sometimes, but please take your time. I will give time after I've got all of my branches on before we move on to more steps, so just go at your own pace. I'm going to do this tree on the side here. So as I said, you can still do a branch if you want, or excuse me, a trunk. My trunk is just going to really hang off of the edge here, so I'm just going right along the edge. I'm going to keep it a little bit smaller. A little bit shorter. So I'm going to stop it like here compared to all my other trees, and then I'll just do a couple kind of wider, longer branches coming out. I think that's looking okay. Yep, so just a few. I'm making this a short little guy, and same on the right. I'm going to make him a little bit of a shorter tree as well. So hugging the edge, really close to the side. Going up to about the pink section, I guess. Pink, maybe purple. It's almost like rolling off the side. I'm honestly having a little trouble. My brush is trying to go on the very edge here. Starlia, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Doing a step-by-step tutorial right now. Feel free to chat in the chat, even if you're not painting along. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so we got that one. And again, I'm just going to, similar to this guy, just do a few little branches kind of popping in from the right-hand side this time. They're coming to the left. I'm going to keep these a little more basic as well. They're all kind of 45 degrees-ish coming out this way. I'll do a couple splits. Maybe a short one here and there just to break that up. Cute. Why are you so fuzzy? Something is wrong with your camera. Oh, am I fuzzy? Hello? Do I look fuzzy to anybody? Please let me know. I know my hat. My hat might be causing a little bit of issue. All good fuzzy. Like sometimes stripes on cameras. I'm not sure if that's what you're seeing, Sushi. The stripes. Does anyone else see that on their monitor? It kind of like cameras don't just never do well with stripes. All crispy. Okay, cool. Yeah, Sushi, maybe it's your maybe it's buffering for you. Maybe your internet is kind of cutting out a little bit. No? Yeah, maybe it's just the connection. Maybe it's trying to reload. You can try refreshing the page. Not fuzzy. Could be Twitch. Yeah, could be. All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, Sushi, maybe refresh. It might be just buffering. Perhaps. Give her a try. Crispy as a fresh baked bun out of the oven. You mean a half stale bun from the grocery store, which is very crunchy? Hello, I was using speech attached to a friend. Oh, oopsie. Sorry, what did I say, Magic? Am I crispy? Okay, I'm gonna leave this for a quick second. I'm just gonna grab the food from my door before someone else does, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Thank you again, Vonda. It all arrived safely. Thanks, now it's better. Excellent. I was out at Branches. Oh, your friend must have been so confused. Okay, Vonda, I'm gonna save this to snack on later just so I'm not eating during the tutorial, but thank you very much. It's all here and looking good. I brought out my hot chocolate in the meantime so I can indulge in some hot beverage while I paint. So thank you again, Vonda. I appreciate you. What you're referring to with the pattern thing, by the way, is called ooh. Can I pronounce it? Moire? Is it like noir? Is it moire? Ooh. You show it for the camera? Yeah, sure. Why the heck not? Here's my hot chocolate from good old Tim Hortons. Classic Canadian chain. Again, I'm just giving a minute or two for the trees in case anyone's catching up, so no rush. Oh, they did not give me a vanilla dip, but they gave... Oh, this is good. This has a nice cream filling, like a Boston cream, but no chocolate on top. It's a nice powdery donut. I don't know what it's called, but thank you, Tim Hortons. They wanted to replace it with vanilla dip, which is like the sprinkly donut, but whatever. I like pretty much all donuts. Just the jelly ones aren't my favorite. We got the bagel in here. I'm not going to open it because sesame seeds will fly everywhere. And, oh, and I got a soup. Oh yeah, I always forget. My comfort food package comes with soup. And you know what comes with soup? You know what comes with soup, guys? A good old crusty bun, and that's all. There's nothing else on it. There's no butter. It's just a crusty bun. Bless. I'm about to indulge in a crusty bun later. We spoke it into existence. Vonda, I know you were like, oh, the bagel is bread, but straight up, the soup comes with a straight up just crusty bun. This is like my dream right here. This is what I'm talking about from the grocery store. It's just a nice bun like this, a nice hard top. It's perfect. It was manifested. There it is. There's a little, what tilting above your, you normally, I don't know how you do. Oh, the accent? Moire? Yeah. Moire? Oh, I don't know. Bun! We did it, guys. We've spoken into existence. Here it is. I get to munch on the crispy bun. That's why I don't eat on stream. Anyway. Haircat needs your P.O. box to send you catnip. I can send you that, Vonda. No worries. As long as it's not literal catnip, I'm down. You're as crispy as the crusts as Aaron. Yeah, that was literally me. I meant to take a larger chomp, but it's quite crispy, actually, and my teeth were grinding against it for a minute. That's why I don't eat on stream. It was very crispy. Again, I hope you heard the noise. It's perfect. Half stale, just as Tim Hortons does it. It's perfect. Very good. Crunch, yep. I'm excited. I want to indulge in that, but I can't be doing that during the tutorial. I want to focus on the steps. So thank you again, Vonda. If it's literal cat, I'll just put it out the window and watch cats gather. The buns from Timmy's are about the only thing I like from them. Oh yeah? I think they have some good stuff. Again, the bagel, donuts. I don't like their breakfast anymore. The soup, that's what I have in there. Anyway. Okay, so I gave a little extra time for those trees. So let's go on to the shadows. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I don't need to. The shadows. Let's zoom in on those shadows because we have the nice color we can use here and the same brush. But here you go. You see some shadows just kind of going away from the trees here as if the, the light source behind is, bouncing off and creating some shadows. So what you want to do with the shadows, everybody, is you want them to be coming straight from the sun because the light source is right here. So watch my mouse here. It kind of comes down. It's going to hit the tree and then come straight out like that. So you can see how it's like a consistent line. And on this side, it's going to go the other way. We're going to go down to the trunk. It's going to come down this way. And then if you have trees further to the side, they're going to be more angled. So you're going from the center of the sun all the way down and it's going to continue out. So it's a more dramatic line. Rather than straight up and down, it's a little more 45-degree here, right? So you're just kind of, again, following that line to make sure you know where those shadows are going. In terms of the color, it looks pretty similar on the screen, but I actually did lighten it just a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little more. Oh, maybe not. Just trust me when I say it's a tiny bit of a lighter purple. I just didn't want it quite as dark as the silhouette here, so I lightened it just a little bit. I think that's not technically correct with shadows and how they work, but that's the way I wanted it for my painting. And Bob always tells us to do what we want because it's our world. So I said, thanks, Bob. I'm going to make my shadows just a wee bit lighter because I didn't want them as harsh, down here. So that's why I did it. Just wanted them a little lighter. So I'm just adding a touch of white, not too much. It's going to be just a little bit lighter of a color, not too much. But all I'm going to do once I have these trees on is I'm going to create their respective shadows. So again, I kind of hover my brush going down like this to the bottom of the trunk. And then when I reach the trunk, I can press down and like bring the shadow out like that. So again, I'm creating a nice straight line. And then just extending further. So I don't match the height, first of all. I don't like take the exact height and then match it here. I make these a little bit shorter because the sunshine is down further here. Kind of makes sense. It's a little higher up, I guess. It kind of changes, I guess, the length of the shadow. Further down, I guess, would make it longer. Higher up would make it shorter, so I guess it's more in the middle. Again, my world. Shadows work the way I want. I'm trying to keep it realistic, but also the way I want, so there you go. And yeah, you're just creating a tree the exact same way as you were before. You're making it a little wider at the start, making a little tip at the end. And I kind of mimic the branches. I do not try and do every single branch I see. I'm just kind of using the similar look to each tree. So this one had a lot of V shapes, so I'm just doing a couple quick V shapes. Very loose. Maybe one out here, one out here. Yeah, I'm not worried about matching every single branch. I'm just kind of creating it until it looks similar to the tree above it. So maybe I'll lengthen these a little bit more. No one's going to be counting branches on your shadow and saying, that doesn't match. What are you doing? Just so it generally looks the same. So I'll do the same for this one. Again, coming down from the middle. I'm going to do a nice long one because this is the tallest one we're working on. I'm actually going to make him taller in a minute, I think. Same thing, making it a little bit wider. This one has less branches and they're a little bit further out. They kind of come a little more horizontal, so I'll mimic that just by doing a couple kind of coming out this way. And then maybe it kind of falls off the end there. We don't see the end of the tree. So yeah, at least you can see some differences in the shadows. They're not going to be the exact same because that's very hard to do, but similar enough. So this one comes like this. So you can see this one's angled more because it's way off to the side, so it's going to be a lot more angled of a shadow. Maybe it falls off the end here. And then this one was the one that had a bunch of branches, so I'm going to really fill this one up all the way. And then that looks a little more similar to that guy there. Cool. And then of course these last two, they're on the ends and their shadows will come out. So you're not going to see any of those. They're just going to be completely hidden, so you don't need to worry about shadows for those guys. We can leave those alone. So once again, I know I did that a little bit fast, so just take your time with it. I'm going to spend a little bit of time lengthening this one. I just want to make him a little taller personally. Again, I always want to try and get this as close as possible to my original, so I'm just going to make him a little taller as a result. Looks like in my original it goes way up here, so let's do that. Cool. Just a little bit taller, a little bit more of a baller. There we go. Cool. I'll just leave that there for a minute or two. You can have a look. Take your time with your trees. Because our next step is going to be filling up the trees. So you really want to make sure you have the trees the way you want them so that when we put things on, yeah, then they'll be all set with the foreground foliage on top. For not fun. Oh yeah, no worries, I got it. Oh, you clipped it! You clipped my embarrassing nibble. It really wasn't a cute nibble. It felt like my teeth were grinding against the bud. I'll keep that open for later. Unless it was just clipping the showing off. It was cute. I trust you. I trust you. You can see I miss it like 3 times. I tried once, I tried a second time, and the third time I got it. Yeah, the mini. At least I was smaller, and you're right, you couldn't really see what was going on. It was deceptively crunchy, though. It had a deceptively hard shell. Sweats, honestly. I'm sweating watching this. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I don't like my 2 trees because branches are just too fat. Oh, okay, Sushi. So if you think the whole branch is fat, what you could do is just leave it alone. You could use a little bit of pink or purple wherever the branch is and just go on top of the branch to help thin it out. Of course, you'll have to wait for the purple to be dry to do that, but that shouldn't be too long until that happens. If you think it's just a piece of the branch that's a little bit wide, sometimes what I do is I really widen out the front, or not the front, the start of the branch, right? And then that way it kind of balances it a bit more, because as long as the start of the branch is a little bit wider, it'll balance the whole thing. I think if anything, it makes it a little bit thinner as you do that, because you'll have the wide part here, and then it makes the whole branch appear a little bit thinner as a result. So you could try that if you think that that might be a good little save. But if you feel like, again, the whole branch is just a little bit too big for your liking, just use the pink, the purple, the peach, wherever it is, and just kind of use it to chop up the branch and kind of overlap as you like. You can move it, makes it. Oh no, I'm fine, Groki, I'm good. Erin eating. I wish I made that noise when I ate. I'd eat all the time on stream if that was actually my noise. I'm sure you just mean the mouth though, rather than the pop, pop, pop. That's how I eat. Good luck, Sushi. I'm glad you're trying it. I think it's important to try and like do little steps to try and save it in a way. If you think it's ruined, it's not ruined. You can always save it with those little things. So I'm glad you're trying. It's pretty much how I eat. It's accurate. All right, I'll give a minute or two. Yeah, it sounds like Sushi's fixing branches. Maybe some of you are adding branches or fixing as well. So we might as well give it just a couple more minutes and then we'll start adding the foliage there. I just can't resist when those little cats are in the chat. I can't resist but to pop. Oh, Tim Hortons, you changed your lids. There we go. Okay. Pop cat, pop cat. One more quick minute. Again, we'll be using a similar technique to the background here for the leaves on top, foliage on top, whatever you want to think of them as. And a lot of similar colors. You can, of course, change whatever colors you like or choose whatever colors you like, but I'll lead you through all of the colors I chose here. Oh, Engraved, hello, nice to see you. Ooh, nice canvas. Thank you, thank you. You've popped in on an acrylic painting tutorial. I'm actually teaching it step by step right now, so that was an original I created on Twitch last week. And now I'm painting along with everybody here, telling them how to recreate it in about a 2-hour period. So you're kind of at the tail end. You can see we just have most of the stuff on here. We're just gonna start to put on some little foliage on our trees, but welcome in, welcome in. It's really nice to see you again. Oh, thanks. I'll leave that tree alone. Yeah, of course. And Sushi, one more thing I'll bring up. We're about to put on all the leaves. So if you're choosing if you have a tree that you want to put leaves on, and that's the wide branch tree, the leaves might cover it up. You can see, especially these darker colored trees, these side ones, if you like these ones, you barely see the branches. So keep that in mind too. You might end up covering up stuff without even knowing it. The peach tree you can see through. I would say this tree, and then again, this tree I'll leave blank, but you can kind of switch these up the way you want, make it a little darker of a tree if it's this tree that you think is a little too wide. Anyway, lots of solutions for you. Officially unlucky. I just ended up on the... Oh no! With a furniture repair. Oh dear. Good luck with that. I'm great. I'm good, Engraved. How are you, Erin? I'm good too. I'm about to start painting. Oh, painting a moon. Excellent. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling quite energetic. Usually I stream 2 times on Friday, but today I took the day free, and it's a good feeling, yeah. People have noticed I'm a little bit peppier, apparently, so that's really good. Is that a personal painting you're doing, or like a commission for the moon? Yeah, sounds good, Sushi. Yeah, you'll see when we put stuff on, you'll see if it's covering up or not. We can experiment. All right, that's been enough time. Let's add our final little steps here. We're just going to add some leaves to our trees, some foliage to our trees. So I kind of stick to the same color scheme we've been using. So you can see I have a lot of like the purples again. That's a bluish purple here. I have a very light peach color here. And then I would call this more of a pinky peach. So they're all kind of similar to the colors we've all been using. Like I said, if you want to change up the colors, you're more than welcome to, or switch up the order. Doesn't matter to me. It's your painting. It's your world. Do what you want. But yeah, I'll teach you the color schemes I was using. And then what I do to each of them is I kind of throw on a base color, and then I just do a lighter color on top. So you can see the bluish purple has a little bit of a frosty blue purple on top. The peach has a very light peach on top. You can see it especially near the tip top of the tree. Same with the pinky peach, same with the more reddish purple on the side there. They all have a secondary highlight color. So all of those colors will be, I'll teach you how to mix them, and then the highlight colors, you just add a little bit of white on top, and that's really it. And then it'll be a nice kind of frosty highlight. So let's start from the left. We'll just work our way over. So the left-hand color here is pretty much the color we started with. I call it kind of a bluish purple. So as a reminder for how to mix that, first of all, I'm using my medium round brush. I'm gonna mix together, if you have this color, you could use it, but to make it, it was blue with a little bit of red and then some white, just to lighten it a little bit. So again, it's not really a blue, it's more of a bluish purple because there's that little bit of red hiding in there. And then the white lightens it up just a little bit. It's still a pretty dark color, but I lighten it up just a tad. Just like the background here, I'm going to wipe off my brush after I have that color mixed so there's not a lot on there. And then I will start to tap it on. So I use the same technique so it produces a similar look, just a nice kind of soft addition to the trees. I like to start on the tips of the branches where I think there's going to be lots of the leaves and foliage, and of course right on top of the branches. So again, you might cover up some stuff. You can purposely cover up some areas you don't like if you want. Or leave it a little more open if you like your branches, of course. You can tap a little bit less with less paint. But yeah, I'm pretty much filling up, tips of the branches, coming down the branch. You can tap a little bit further outside of the branch. You do not need to make sure all of your taps or leaves are touching a branch. They can kind of float around. So here's that one, for example. You can see how I've overlapped the branches. You can still see through a little bit. I've gone maybe a little bit farther out, a little bit further down. So you still get the nice shape of the tree, but you're really starting to fill it up. Linda Lou, hello. Hi, Erin, looks good. Thanks. Sorry, I lost track of time. No worries. Painting a parrot. Ooh, okay. Love the shadows. I'll try on the weekend. Sounds good. I hope your parrot's going well. I don't know if you're all done now, but that's exciting. Like I always say, Linda, I'm always just happy that people are doing any art. So even if you're missing my art or not following my art, I don't care. It's fine. I'm just happy you're painting, honestly. I'm hoping you're enjoying the parrot. That's a good idea for a painting. I've never done a parrot before. That would be really fun to try. Just make sure you don't kill all the dark. Exactly. Yeah, I like having it kind of peek through a little bit. You can see it's subtle, but it's there. I like having it still a little bit there. You put all the work into the branches, right? So you might as well let them show. So after I get that first color on, then I'm just going to add a little bit of white to that same color. You can see how it lightens it up a little bit. Same thing, wipe my brush off so there's not a lot on there. And then you can lightly tap it right on top of that previous color. I'm gonna add a little more white actually. I want it a little more of a contrast. And then I'm just tapping it right on top. And for this color, I like to keep it more on the ends because those are going to be closest to the light source. So I'm kind of keeping it near the tip tops and the right-hand side of my branches. And then it makes it look a little more like a highlight. So just very subtle. It gives another layer to your trees, and that way it looks a little more three-dimensional with all of the different shades of the leaves on there. So that's the first one. I'll just wash off my brush. Again, take your time with each color. There's no rush here. I just like to stick within about 2 hours, and I see it's 5 minutes to 10, so I'm gonna get through these maybe a tad quicker, but not too quick. Oh, I'm sorry, I was fixing a boo-boo. What color? Oh yeah, no worries, Sharon. It's pretty much the first color we started with. So it's gonna be blue with just a little bit of red and then a little bit of white. So it's kind of the bluish purple I've been referencing. Just got the back. Oh, fun, okay. Putting on some shadows. Oh, so I have the shadows here. Do you mean shadows in the leaves? I just kind of keep with the two colors. I kind of consider, I guess, this color kind of the main color or shadow color. It's kind of in the background, and then I have the light color on top. So yes and no. I don't do a shadowy color, I guess. It's more so just the base color. Am I weird? I don't like my colors touching on my plate. I don't think that's weird. I could see that. I clearly don't care. I am clearly past that stage. But I could see that, kind of separating them by color or even in order. I know people like to keep them in order of kind of the color wheel to do. If they have more than 3 colors, they'll do like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It makes sense for mixing too, right? So no, I could totally see that. I'll give just an extra minute in case anyone's doing that first color. And if you need me to repeat any, just as Sharon asked there, please feel free to ask in the chat. I'm happy to repeat colors if, especially in the next few steps, I go a little bit quick or you need a little more time. Just ask me what color each tree is and I can repeat stuff, so no worries. Luke, welcome in. Wait, we're making a new plate mound? Yeah. I think I showed you, I think we showed you the cut volcano plate. I think. Do we have a volcano? We do, don't we? A volcano plate command? Let me see. Volcano plate. Let's see. It is! Oh my gosh. But we don't have, oh, it's not updated. Uh-oh. It's speaking as if the volcano plate still exists. Uh-oh. I gotta update that. There's a clip, Luke, of it being split. I was here for the thing. Yeah. There you go. RIP, yeah. So yeah, I guess you missed the fact that we're starting a new one. On January 15th, I started a new one. And yeah, it's not quite a mountain yet, but it's nice and solid. It's gonna get there. Yeah. That's exactly right. New volcano plate. CJ's here. Hi, BBs. Hi, BB. How's it going? 2.0. Yeah. She is. She just arrived. More purple crew in the chat. Where's Sleeps, by the way? He's been a little absent. He was saying that, I know last week he was saying work was getting pretty busy. I know when we mentioned the collab with Trisha, he was like, oh, I'd love to see it, because I know he loves watching Trisha too, and he said something like, I'd love to see it, and I don't even know if I can make that. Good, having wholesome. Oh, that's good. What are you up to? Wholesome stuff. More Disney? Toot's good. I'm still going. I've got like a couple trees left, but it's been going well. Thank you. Yeah, great. I think it's just work. He was saying he might have meetings until like Monday night, for example, and I didn't see him during the collab, so I assume that's what happened, but I'm gonna contact him soon about his painting I need to ship anyway, so I'll ask him how he's doing. I'm sure you could always DM him too if you're curious. I'm sure he'd appreciate the reach out. Okay, I'm gonna move on to next tree here. So this tree is the peach tree, the nice light peach color. So I'm pretty much using the same color in the background, maybe a little bit lighter, just to make it a little bit different than the background color. So if you need a refresher, peach is made by mixing white. I washed off my brush, by the way. Some red. So it makes like a pink. Oh, good timing, battery. And then a little yellow is the third color. But give me a quick second, I can give you another battery and show you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. -1. There we go. Okay, so it was white and red for pink. And then a little bit of yellow for the peach. And like I said, if you want to make it maybe a little lighter than that background peach, you can do that. I'm going to add a little more white to mine just to lighten it up a tad. There we are. Very light peachy color. Same thing, I'm making sure I'm wiping off my brush or rubbing my brush off on a towel or paper towel. And then I can go in and tap, tap, tap. This is a much lighter color, so it's going to come off a little bit brighter. So you might want to use even less paint. You might want to tap off a little extra before you go on there because it's going to show up a lot lighter than any of the darker colors we've been using, right? So just as a little caution. Little cautionary tip for you. So again, teeny bits, softly tapping. I'm going to yellow it up a tiny bit. And again, I'll say again, feel free to change the colors up. You can do oranges, you can do pinks. I didn't really do a pink tree. I did kind of a pinky peach, but not really straight pink. You could throw in different colors. Like if you don't want to stay on the color scheme, you can put green in there if you want. Like a frosty blue. I almost put a frosty blue on here when I was making it. I kept talking about it and then it didn't happen. So there are lots of colors you can experiment with. I'm good having a whole, right, it was a memorial birthday. Oh, good, get together for, nice. I'm glad it was wholesome. Wholesome. I'm back, welcome back, Allie. Hope dinner was good. I saw your lurk and I just responded super late because I was painting, but I hope dinner was good. I know I haven't grabbed your link for you, by the way, Allie. I will be doing that tonight before I go to bed. Just so you're ready for tomorrow. I'm excited. Hummingbird time. My mom really likes the painting, by the way, Allie, the hummingbird painting I made for you in your group. She really loves it. She's like, when are you teaching that? I was like, I'm not. It's private. I can't wait. Yay! I'm really excited too. It's gonna be lovely and wholesome. Wholesome things everywhere. Yeah, I was like, it's private, Mom, I can't. Yeah. Did you see that one, Groki? I made that on stream for Allie. That would have been whenever I ended my stream early, honestly. When was that? It wasn't Thursday. Last week somewhere? I forget when that was. When I was having a tough time with the background and I was having just a rough day in general. I was like, I'm gonna get offline. It was that day. I guess you didn't see it. Sorry, because I did it offline. Duh. Oh, yeah, I'm saying this, girl. Okay, I'm like, duh, I finished it offline. Why wouldn't you see it? Yeah. I'd be happy to post the design or I'm sure Allie might post, her recreation, her fam's recreation when that happens tomorrow, so you can see it if you want. I can even show it off after I'm done this if you want. Okay, there's my peach tree. I'm just going to add a little bit of white to my peach and then do a nice highlight as usual. Same thing. Just kind of tapping it off and then adding a little light peach layer on top. See how it's a little bit brighter? Not much. Yeah, sorry, Grok. As I said that, I'm realizing I'm like, I was offline to paint that painting. You didn't see it? Duh. I wasn't painting it online. You saw the background and that's it. You saw the background that I didn't end up using. There, so you can see it's a nice soft touch on top, a soft frosty touch on top. Give her the one you do. Yeah, exactly. I think I suggested that. I was like, I will have the extra. It was beautiful. Thanks, Poppy. And maybe I showed it off another time. Whatever, I forget now. Days are blending. Alright, so that's the peachier tree. This tree I leave blank, as you can see in my reference. I just wanted one that was a little more open. You can see all the branches, so I decided to leave that one alone. I'll go on to this one. I would describe this as a pinky peach, personally. So if you want, you can use the original peach that you have on your plate. Just add a little more red to it. Maybe soften it if it darkened it a little too much. And just play around until you have a shade you like. I'm actually going to add even more red and more yellow. It's kind of bordering almost on an orange. It's hard to say. Again, everyone kind of perceives colors a little bit differently in my opinion, but yeah, this could be a salmon color. It could be a pinky peach. It could be bordering on like a toned down orange. But yeah, it's red with yellow and a little bit of white. It's just the same colors as peach, just different amounts. You want to add more red and yellow to make it brighter. Excuse me. Background was nice. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Beakaleaks, you're back, Todd. What's up? How's your evening going? Beakaleaks. I'll just imagine that bird. I can show you. It's actually right beside me. I'll finish the toot and then I'll show you. I'm using a straight up bubblegum pink. Yes! I'm glad. I was going to make a pink tree, Sharon, and the only thing... Bubblegum pink would work. I was just worried it would blend too much here in the pink. But if you're making a nice bright pink, that'll work perfectly. Do it. Same thing, everybody. I tapped off my brush. I'm going to go a little lighter on this tree just because there's less branches, right? So you'll see it's not as full as the others. I'm just kind of sticking right on the branches, and as a result, excuse me, there's going to be less coverage here. Oops, grabbed a little white by accident. That's significantly lighter. What happened? Mix again, mix again. So yeah, do as Sharon's doing. You can slightly change up the color, dramatically change it. Again, I'm sure you'll like it more when it's your own unique trees with your own unique colors. It'll be more special that way. I'm going tractorly because I'm lurking while I mow some virtual grass. Gotcha. Mine is blending a bit, but I'm going with it. Yeah, for sure. Same theory could be used for my peach, honestly. It could have blended a little bit too much with the peach underneath, but oh well, exactly. You'll see it on the other section, so that's fine. And I'm sure once you add the highlight too, that might actually pump it up a bit too. If it's blending too much with the pink now, the lighter color will pop off instead, so it'll get there. And these little guys down here, can't forget about them. I'm going to cover this a little bit more. Okay, and then same thing. Whenever you've got your base color on there, you can mix a little more white into your existing color, make it lighter. And then I just kind of tap that near the top and near the sides where the sun is closest. Nice little highlight. There we go. Maybe a little here. Grab a little more. A little here. Maybe a little here. And that's about all. Again, I left that one a lot more open. We can see a lot of branches for that one. For some reason, when you said peach tree, I pictured you putting the color leaves on the tree, giving it the shape of a peach, then an apple tree in the shape of an apple. I know you're referencing color, but different shapes could be fun. Yeah, every time I say peach tree, I was actually imagining Poppy a tree with literal peaches on it, and I was like, wonder if I should say it that way. It's a little confusing. My peach tree. But that would be a good idea. Didn't Bob say to go out on the limb because that's where the fruit is? You could add fruit to your trees. You can add just little peach dots. That could be some little peaches on your tree, or little red dots for apple. Again, I know these fruits probably don't grow in winter, but it's your world. Maybe they do in your world. Who knows? Who knows? All right, last one is going to be a purple tree. This purple uses just more red. So technically this was a blue purple, you know, it was still purple, but if you add more red to purple, it changes completely. So I'm doing another purple tree, but different tone of color. So when I mix my purple for this one, I'm just making sure more red is involved. So red and blue still, but more red. Keeps it a little more warm, a little more violet color. Like this here. See that on top? So this is the blue purple, this is the red purple. Very different. Obviously darker, but still different tone. And then a little bit of white just to lighten it up a touch, but it's still going to be a darker tree to begin with. I have a preferred food reference shape here. What? What am I missing? Thunder, welcome in. Night. Oh, you were here. Okay, Night. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat earlier if you were here. If you're saying your good nights, then good night. I hope you had a good time painting. Oh, egg. I see. I see. B-Rad, sorry, would you be able to slow down? Oh, I can give it a minute. No worries. Yeah. I'm actually, this is the last step coming up, B-Rad. But yeah, happy to give an extra minute or two, of course. And then I'm always happy to answer questions after. Okay, I've been quiet. No worries. Yeah, I never look at who's lurking, so if you've been quiet, then that's why I missed you. But all good. Hope you have a good evening if you're signing off. Thanks for popping in. Egg, egg, egg. I was referring to chocolate bars. Oh, chocolate bars, huh? Not candy bars. Alien, I have a question. What if in our world all the plants are cursed? Then that's your world, and that's okay. How cursed, though? How cursed? What do you mean by cursed plants? What did they look like, Todd? I won't go back on it. In your world, there can be anything. Okay, B-Rad, I'm going to add that last color just because it's mixed. Yeah, if you need me to repeat anything, I'm totally happy doing that, and I will be sticking around after I'm done finishing the painting so that I can answer questions. So no worries if you're a little behind there. But I'm taking that reddish purple, tapping it on. Same as usual, just a little bit of paint on there, wipe it off a little bit so it comes off nice and soft. I have a question. What if it's cursed? Who had those cursed Tuesdays? Someone who rated us earlier this week. I still want to check that out. Tuesday. Cursed Tuesdays. Or was it Cursed Thursdays? Were we rated yesterday? Oh my gosh, I can't keep track anymore. I'll figure it out. I followed them, so I'll figure that out. Okay. So I got the dark purple. Again, add a little bit of white. And I'll softly apply that on top for a nice highlight. Very softly. A little more white. I want it a little more dramatic. Softly on top. Again, tip tops in the left-hand side, closest to the light source. There we go. Okay, so that's my second color on there and my last tree. So yeah, B-Rad, anyone else. If I need to, or if you need me to repeat anything, I'm more than happy to do that now. That's, again, the final step of the tutorial, everybody, just so you're aware. So if you're caught up with me, you are all done. If you want to touch up anything, now is a good time to do that. If you see any inconsistencies or like branches you want to fix, or if you want to go back and add more leaves or anything, you can totally do that. But otherwise, if you're happy with what you see, I will encourage you to sign your painting. Guruki, I see you. Don't forget to sign it. Yes, will do. Giving a quick little EB for Erin Bun in the corner. And that's what really kind of signifies, or I guess finalizes the painting. Not signifies it. It finalizes the painting to sign it. It's all done when it's signed. It's yours. It's done. So I always recommend giving a little signature in the bottom corner when you're ready. Okay, let's catch up here before I do my little spiel at the end. Oh, you know, flowers with tongue-extended petals, nothing too weird. Nothing too cursed or weird. You're allowed to do whatever you want. My favorite blog quotes last night. I hope you're plagued with dissatisfaction your whole life. That way you'll always strive to do better. That kind of started out dark, but I like that a lot. Can I copy-paste that? If that's word for word, Hoki, I'm stealing that right now. I can easily add that in right now to my little quote commands. Put that in the cycle. Perfect, thank you. Number 52, quote number 52. Save. I think that's added. Great. Oh, I need to put quotes around it. Beautiful, good one. It's not often we come across a Bob quote which we don't already have. Squid arm. To head out. Oh, no worries, Lori. See you later. Have a good evening. You too, Lori. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a great weekend. Emma, what was the color of the last tree? Oh, yeah. So that was like a reddish purple color. So we did a blue purple. This one's more red purple. So just using a little extra red in your red blue mixture and then a little bit of white just to lighten it up a touch. You can see it's not the darkest color in the world, so the little bit of white is what lightened it up a bit. And then we put a lighter purple on top. If you need anything else, let me know. I'll keep this here. The one you did tonight. Oh, thank you, Vonda. It's a good thing I read things before I say them out loud, because that's not a Bob quote. Gosh. Bob Ross definitely says gosh. Past week I've seen 2 that he has a blue jay with him. Aw, super scruffy, cute. Mindy, you're so welcome. I'll see you next week. Sounds good, sounds good. Hope you enjoyed. You're welcome, Kay Schreiner, as well. Nice to see you again. Glad you enjoyed as well. So yeah, before I lose too many people here, I'll just say, as usual, thanks very much for coming. I hope you had a great time painting. As a little reminder, if you want to post some photos of your beautiful paintings, I love seeing them. So if you look at the chat right now, there's lots of lovely links that you can check out there. I would say the most popular spot to post is on Facebook. If you click that little link, it'll bring you to the Facebook events, and then you just got to find the event that coordinates to tonight. And I'm just opening up that event page right now. There we go. So that's a great way to post. You can post to Insta. In our Discord, we have an art share channel, which is great to use. Twitter, all of those little social medias are available if you want. If you're looking for another tutorial, I do have one next week already booked and posted. So by posted, I mean it's posted to Facebook if you want to RSVP. If you want to see it, here it is. I'll teach you step by step how to make this beautiful elk painting. I love this one with the light source coming through. I'll teach you how to do all that and get this beautiful elk on here. Easier than he looks, I swear. I know animals are always very scary for everybody. So this guy, I will walk you through very, very slowly. There's only 3 colors involved in him. It's really just about getting the shape down, and then everything else is nice and simple. But yeah, that'll be next week. Again, at 8 p.m., same place, same day of the week, same time, just a different day. If you want to check more of me out before Friday, I will be on Twitch plenty of times throughout the week, as I always am. For those who are unaware, I stream on Twitch pretty consistently. And I'm not doing always step-by-step tutorials, but I'm always painting, mostly painting, and chatting. Sometimes I'm just talking. But yeah, I always have my paints that I'm always intending to create something. So if you like the idea of just watching me paint and hanging out, if some of you are enjoying chatting today, that's kind of what I do throughout the week. So you can always check me out. I'd recommend following me. If you have a Twitch account, you can click the little follow button, and then you're notified when I go live. You'll be emailed and notified if you have the Twitch app. And that really helps me grow. I keep saying it, and I want to keep saying it so people are aware. Just watching me helps me grow on this platform a lot. It doesn't give me literal financial compensation, but it allows other people to find me, and then maybe they're able to support me, and then other people support me in other ways, and it all kind of feeds the whole growth system, I guess, on Twitch. So just watching me really helps. So if you're looking for an easy way to support me, a free way to support me, that would be the way to do it. Just check me out and watch me live on Twitch when I'm live. Thank you so much for those who do. It really, really helps me out. And I just hope you enjoy watching me too, honestly. If you're looking for other ways to support me, I know there was information just stuck in the chat there. Thank you, Gray. You're welcome to tip me. If you type in exclamation tips, if you type in any of these into chat, they'll spit out more information, but exclamation tips will give you some links for a way to literally tip me if you want to tip me for my service today, my free tutorial that I've created here. Yeah, you can use PayPal, Interac e-transfer. There's also a direct link that will allow you to tip live on stream here. So when you tip, it actually comes up with a cute little notification, and I can say thank you and shout you out. So whatever you like there, that's all available. And then subscriptions are a way to support me too. Through Twitch, you can subscribe to my channel. So it's just like a Netflix subscription. It's like a monthly fee, essentially, that you're paying to support me as I do all of my live streaming throughout the month. It's a very small fee, and I get a portion of it. But again, it helps me just a little bit here and there. So thank you for those who subscribe. And if you want to subscribe for free, so at no cost to you, you can do that if you have Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, there's a little bit of information in the chat right now on how to use that, because you get 1 free subscription with Amazon Prime. We got some gifted subs coming in. Thank you, Wood. We've got 5 gifted subs right there. Thank you so much. Mizzy, Luke, Bob. Oh, it's just Bob Lala was here earlier. Love for all. B-Rad, you're subscribed as well. Thank you, Wood. My gosh. So what Wood did there is he gifted subscriptions. So Wood was already subscribed and he wanted to show more support. So he just kind of like gave more subscriptions to a few random people. So those people are benefiting off the subscription by supporting me through him, and they get ad-free viewing and they get to use my little bun emotes. So nice little gift to everybody and a gift to me. So thank you, Wood. So that's another example of how to extra support me. My gosh. Lots of different ways. So again, thank you for those continuing to do that. Because again, this is all I'm doing right now. And yeah, that's really all. I don't want to get too far into it, but this is all I do right now. So this really helps me. Thank you. And yeah, more than that, I just hope you guys continue to have a good time in these tutorials. I hope to see you continue to come out or to come out to future streams. So thank you.